D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. Jazz get Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones, and a 27 first-round pick. By the way, the Jazz did really well in this deal. The Wolves get Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and picks. That trade makes sense to me for all three teams. The one, late today, they traded Patrick Beverley to Orlando for Mo Bamba. Doesn't bother me. Lakers have a lot of guards. Mo Bamba might turn into something.
I like that trade. It's a good trade.
The one that I'm getting the most reaction about is Thomas Bryant to Denver for Devon Reed and 3 number 2 picks.
Like that trade, too.
On the surface, I don't get it. Why do you like it?
Because with Anthony Davis healthy and Jared Vanderbilt, who can be a small ball center.
6'8".
6'8", 6'9", but
okay.
he's played that role. LeBron's soaking up front court minutes, sometimes even as a small ball center. Rui Hachimura in there. Wenyen Gabriel still available. Thomas Bryant's role was going to dramatically shrink anyway, and we've seen since AD has come back, if Thomas Bryant does not have a featured offensive role, his value and impact drops dramatically. Plus, Thomas Bryant has already outplayed his contract to the point where the Lakers are not going to be able to keep him. So they might as well make this into a process where you eventually spin it into Mo Bamba, somebody that they might actually be able to keep next year.
Here's why the trade didn't make sense to me and still doesn't, but I'm going to add a wrinkle to it here in a second. What's the defining characteristic of Anthony Davis over the last 3 years?
Gets injured.
Right. So when he gets injured again, who plays center?
I don't care. If he gets injured, this is all done. I honestly, I don't give a crap. If Anthony Davis misses significant time, this is all done. So who cares?
I think it is whoever is building the roster has to care.
But it does. But I'm saying it doesn't matter. We've already seen how well Thomas Bryant played with Anthony Davis not there. He was starting. He did really
great.
well. And
I would have liked to have seen him to start AD at the 4 and Bryant at the 5. They just never did it.
But here's what happened. They barely played 500. I don't remember the exact record, but 500-ish under total duress and the best the worst possible circumstances. That's the best they could do. They can't just play 500 moving forward. So if AD gets hurt, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
I've got a piece of bad news here. All things considered, not shocking. LeBron out against Milwaukee tonight. So,
oh, come on.
We were going to have an uphill battle anyway because so many guys have been traded. But the best game of the year, Andy, has been Lakers at Milwaukee because LeBron and AD showed up on the same night and Giannis showed up on the same night, and it was great. I just got a text from the Lakers. LeBron has been downgraded to out for tonight against Milwaukee.
Do they have enough players to actually put onto the court tonight?
You're going to see some G League guys. You're going to see
Scottie Pippen Jr.
You're going to see Cole Swider. You're going to see a lot of Lonnie Walker.
Jay
a
Huff
lot of Austin Reeves.
Oh, Jay Huff. He's great inside.
But no LeBron for the Lakers tonight. All right.
Really glad I'm going tonight. This was a good day to go.
And by the way, this is the most, because everybody thought tonight was going to be the night for LeBron to break the record. It's the most expensive ticket of the year.
I don't know if you noticed this, but down the stretch of the loss against OKC, LeBron had his shoe off and he was rubbing one of his feet.
Yeah. And I asked the question, why is he out of the game? It's a 4-point game with 30 seconds left. Maybe his foot was starting to bother him.
His foot's been bothering him all season.
It's left ankle soreness is the official
it's the one it always
reason that he's out. He has been downgraded to out for tonight's game. All right. We don't take a lot of calls on this show, but we will today because I want to know what you guys think of these 3 trades. All right? The first trade is Lakers get D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. They send out Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones, and a 2027 first-round pick. The second trade, Thomas Bryant to Denver for Devon Reed and 3 second-round picks. The third trade, Patrick Beverley to Orlando for Mo Bamba. We got a whole new team. What do you guys think of it? 877-710 ESPN. 877-710-3776. Andy Kamenetsky in for Mace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're in the 909. You can see it right here. Food, beer, fandom here at Yamavon. I'm going to tell you this, that on the day of the big game, right here in the 909, for every touchdown scored, we're giving away $1,000. They should never have done this with me, because I'm like, yo, now I want to give away a whole bunch of your money. $1,000 per touchdown on the day of the big game. We'll see you here at the 909 out here at Yamavon.
Three deals today. Andy and I have both been covering the Lakers for years. We cannot, between the two of us, remember a more active trade deadline for the Lakers. Let's let you guys react to some of this stuff. Here is Greg in Whittier. Hey, Greg, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hey, guys. So, yeah, to Andy's point, if AD goes down, it's over, and AD's going to go down. It's what he does. So Thomas Bryant was a finisher at the rim. He made big plays. He worked really well with LeBron. I don't think that's a great move. I don't know if it's true that he asked out because he wasn't getting playing time
that's what
after.
I was going to touch on, Greg, and Andy, I'm really curious what you think of this. He asked for a trade last week, according to Ramona Shelburne. He was upset with his minutes. And, Andy, if you have a guy in your locker room who wants out, is it worth keeping him even if he wants out? I mean, do you want a guy who doesn't want to be there?
If you really need him, yeah, sometimes you have to say, look, we're sorry. We will do our best to make you happy. We need you here. In the case of Thomas Bryant, I don't think they needed him here because, again, assuming Anthony Davis is healthy and you've got Jared Vanderbilt coming in who can be a small ball center, you've got LeBron taking up front court minutes, including sometimes small ball center, Rui Hachimura in there. Maybe they thought that Mo Bamba would be coming anyway.
Yeah.
You've got Wenyen Gabriel. Thomas Bryant's minutes were going to be drastically dropped. You know, it's funny. Before Ramona tweeted that out about him wanting a trade request, I had actually tweeted out that I thought this was a great move for Thomas Bryant because Denver needs a legitimate backup center that they can keep on the floor when Jokic isn't playing. his opportunity is going to be better in Denver.
Yeah, but that if you're a Laker fan, you only care. Like I'm Greg. We lost Greg, but I would assume if you're a Laker fan, you don't care about Denver. You just want to know why the Lakers traded Thomas Bryant.
Well, A, because he wanted to. B, because I don't think he was going to have the same role. If everybody's healthy, Thomas Bryant's minutes are going to start getting drastically dropped anyway. Like, he's not going to be playing much.
Here is Daniel in North Hills. Hey, Daniel, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I love all the moves the Lakers made. They got younger. They got more cost-controlled players for even after this year, even when Malik Beasley even has a team option. They got young, athletic, and, what's his name? The center we just gave away. Thomas Bryant. He wasn't even going to be coming back next year.
Right.
So you got to get pieces for them. I hate for a long time we would just let guys go, not get anything back. Mo Bamba, an athletic big center that can stretch the floor. We didn't need Beverly. He wasn't going to be back next year. These are moves for this year and going forward. We put protections on the first-round pick just in case we are so bad. And, normally the best players in the drafts are in those first few picks. Remember back in the day, the Steve Nash trade, it made a big difference that we had protections on that first-round pick.
Right.
Which he did. You got D'Lo to shoot threes. I mean, it makes so much sense. Malik Beasley, which we'll have to figure out in the locker room with him and Scottie Pippen.
Right.
But it's a really good move, very smart, and very excited about the next few years for them. It's
right.
Very, very good.
Well, so thanks, Daniel. He's like you, Andy. He likes all the trades.
One of the points that he brought up that I think is really important, too, is the Lakers were going to have probably no ability to keep Thomas Bryant because of the way CBA rules, him being on a one-year veterans minimum deal, they weren't going to be able to afford him. It's like what happened with Malik Monk
because
this offseason.
What I looked at, Thomas Bryant and Mo Bamba are basically a similar skill set.
Yes.
So that would make sense. If they had already decided we can't pay Thomas Bryant, you might as well get somebody.
It's not even that they don't want to. Like, they literally can't. It's like what happened with Malik Monk. The Lakers wanted to keep Malik Monk, but because of the contract structure, him being on a veterans minimum one-year deal, which, by the way, those type of deals have been boxing the Lakers in to no options the last couple of years. Getting all these different role players on actual salaries, they've upgraded the quality of their role players, but they've upgraded the quality of their options.
Solomon, Lake Balboa, what do you think of the trades?
I like most all of them, guys. I hate to see Bryant go as well. I really liked him. He was a great backup center. But like you've been pointing out, I believe they're getting 3 picks in that deal. So you're replenishing that, and you get a 7-footer as opposed to 6'10". I know it's just 2 inches, but, there's some big trees in the league. Nothing wrong with a nice 7-footer that's got a skill set. So I'm happy. I'm happy the direction the Lakers are going in. So
good.
Let's see what happens for this season.
All right, thanks, man. Let's go to Tony in Diamond Bar. Hey, Tony, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hi. So, I think overall the Lakers made, the perfect moves that they needed to make. Going into the season, there was a question with, the wings, the defense, the size. I think they really addressed that with Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, Rui Hachimura, Mo Bamba. So, getting rid of the guys like JTA, Damian Jones, Thomas Bryant, who we're going to miss as well. But those are guys that, were always, replaceable, in my opinion. And, given the financial restrictions that Rob Pelinka had entering this season, I think he's done, a great job with utilizing those assets and really changing the outlook of the season. I think the Lakers can legitimately compete for a title.
Good. All right, I hope you're right. Thanks for the phone call. Here is Paul in Studio City. Paul, what do you think of these trades?
Guys, I hate to be, on the opposite end of this, and this is not going to be a popular take by any means, right? But, so yeah, the trades were all good and everything, but in my opinion, man, I feel like we tried to recreate Showtime. And what I mean by that is Kareem, right? LeBron would be Kareem. AD would be like Magic. We would have a nice, high-powered offense, and we were all for it. We caught Magic. We caught lightning in a bottle for 1 year. We got 1 ring out of it. I just feel like, look, we can't give LeBron, as a Laker fan, I'm a lifelong Laker fan, I'm not willing to give him the same treatment and patience that we gave Kobe Bryant because Kobe earned it and deserved it with us. I don't think that management should be waiting much longer. I feel like we really need to blow this team up and get what we can while AD and LeBron have their value. So if they make a playoff push, I actually think at the end of the season, we dump the two of them and we build now, because if we don't, it's going to put us back 5 to 10 years. If we wait to see LeBron and we let him play with his son and we do all that in Laker uniform, we're not going to win rings that way. So I think Rob should just blow this team up personally.
All right, thanks, Paul, for the phone call. Andy, I'm going to give him 3 words. Actually, it's a hyphenated word and then a third word. What are the 3 words?
Star effing town.
Right. Star-driven.
Effing driven town.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
It's a star-driven town. You send off LeBron and AD, and you become the Anaheim
Well,
Ducks.
okay, look, that's actually, I will agree with Paul. That's a bad reason to keep something together that you don't think is going to work. If you think the LeBron AD era has just run its course quicker than you thought it would, you got a championship out of it, does that suck? Is it kind of disappointing? Sure. But if you actually think we've gotten the best out of it, keeping these guys around for relevancy is an awful way to run a team, because you're just spinning your wheels and you're going to end up depleting assets trying to really pretend that you're contending. You're cosplaying contention. You're not actually contending. But if you actually believe, for basketball reasons, that it's worth keeping these guys around, then you need to do something like what they did today, which is beyond help this year's roster. They are making themselves far better in terms of their options for next year. They are in so much of a better position to build a better team around LeBron and AD next year than they were just 48 hours ago.
All right, NBA trade deadline day, a plethora of trades have been made, including 3 of them by the Lakers, bringing in 5 new players who are all going to be on the team as of tonight. I don't think any of them will play. I think it's, logistically getting them here and getting their physicals. I don't know that, though. I've been texting with my friends at the Lakers all day. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts here. When did these guys get here? How quickly can you get them here? But I think you'll see most of them on Saturday when we play the Warriors in San Francisco. And the Warriors shipped out James Wiseman today.
I know.
Former number 2 pick in the draft. They
don't have Steph right now.
Right. They sent Wiseman to Detroit, but they're not. Sadiq Bey was in that deal, but he's not going back to Golden State. He's going to Atlanta. So there's a lot of moving parts and trades.
Yeah, there had been rumors that actually it was going to be John Collins going to the Warriors, but apparently he's staying in Atlanta forever on the block.
Yeah, that guy has been on the trading block since he got there.
No, he's now the new Miles Turner.
Right. True. And Miles Turner just got a big contract.
Right.
All right. When we come back, we'll spin the wheel of questions, take more of your phone calls at 877-710-ESPN. Andy in for Mace. I'm John Ireland, ESPN.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're in the 909. You can see it right here. Food, beer, fandom here at Yamabon. I'm going to tell you this, that on the day of the big game, right here in the 909, for every touchdown scored, we're giving away $1,000. They should never have done this with me, because I'm like, yo, now I want to give away a whole bunch of your money. $1,000 per touchdown on the day of the big game. We'll see you here at the 909 out here at Yamavon.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Who is the most famous person in your contact list?
I know everyone thinks I'm going to say Keyshawn. And he's pretty famous, right? But I think it's Bob Costas. Bob and I worked together years ago.
I've been doing this a really long time, so I have a bunch of people in O'Shea.
Can you FaceTime him?
FaceTime one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know I got your back, bro.
There he is. There he is.
Michael Caine. The actor Michael Caine.
Can you FaceTime him?
Right now?
Yes.
Hell no. He's somewhere in England, hasn't made a movie in 20 years. No.
Is comedian Bill Engvall.
Can you FaceTime him? Right now?
Try.
Bill,
What a surprise.
how are you?
I'm Good. What are you doing?
James Worthy, I think, is the most famous person in my contact list. And if I tried calling James Worthy, there's a 1,000% chance he would not answer.
James Worthy.
You know who's not in the Hall of Fame, who should be, who's in this phone? Steve Mason and John Ireland. They need to be in the Radio Hall of Fame.
I mean, I guess maybe Jay-Z, maybe.
Wrong.
I mean, I don't know if he's that. I guess maybe
Wrong.
Jay-Z.
Harbaugh, he's pretty famous. Charles Barkley. J.B. Smoove. Kyrie Irving, he's definitely changed his phone number since his Cleveland days.
Oh, that's easy. It's Magic Johnson, but the problem is he keeps changing his phone number on me.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download
show on
the
the radio,
new
Mason and Ireland here each
ESPN
weekday,
LA
1 to 4
app
p.m.
in the App Store.
You know what it's
or
time
on
for?
Google Play.
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it.
All right. Let's see what okay. Interesting. If you could hear what someone is thinking for a day, which person's thoughts would you want to hear? All right, so you get one crack at this. You get an entire day of knowing exactly what someone is thinking. Boy, it'd be perfect if it was someone you were negotiating with.
Yeah.
But you might not have that opportunity. Bergman, one day you get to hear someone's thoughts. Whose thoughts would you like to hear?
So, I know this is kind of going against the question, I think, but can I make it my dog?
That is not going against the question, and of course you can make it your dog.
Then yes, I'm taking my dog. I want to know what Lola's thinking all day long.
I thought you were going to go where I'm going to go.
Where's that?
I thought you would say Riley.
She kind of tells me everything she's thinking at 11 years old.
So we're all parents here. The scariest thing about parenting is you don't know what your kids are getting and what they're not getting, and if they're picking up on the things you're trying to teach them. I think it would be a killer parenting tool if I could know what Jack Ireland was thinking for an entire day. I might be extremely disappointed. He might not be thinking anything, but I think that's where I'm going. Jorge, how about you?
Oh, I am going with Maite for sure.
Yeah, and Maite is what, 4?
She's 4, and she's like a sponge, so she's thinking of all kinds. I want to see what her thoughts are.
Well, I was going to say,
I want the food.
Exactly.
I want the TV.
As a 4-year-old, though, like there can be a communication gap. Like my daughter and Greg's daughter, like they're now old enough where they can express themselves pretty clearly. So I don't necessarily have to guess too much what my daughter is thinking. Like, it's funny. Like, there are certain ones I know I don't want to know all the time. Like, I don't want to know what my wife is thinking 24/7 for, like, an entire day. I don't want to know. Like, that probably could be an unpleasant experience. Like, I think she thinks a lot of good stuff about me. But, you know, you spend enough time. I'm sure you're the way with your wife. Or, hey, like, spend enough time.
Why aren't you talking to me?
Well, I mean, because you ended up hearing what your ex-wife thought. I didn't want to go there, but since you brought it up.
Yeah, boy, and none of us picked one that you could monetize, but there has to be a way.
But who around here? I mean, like, do you really want to know what Amanda or Scott or
if I'm
Sam
negotiating a contract, I absolutely.
But you're not
want to
right
know.
now,
right? But I'm thinking just in general, like, how about this? You go. Okay, so this is a little backwards, but you go on Jeopardy and you know exactly what Ken Jennings is thinking, and he's got the answers.
But I feel like that's just cheating. Like, that's actually just a, like...
No, here's the rules of this
Googling.
game. No, it's not. The rules of the game is I get to pick one person for an entire day that I get to know what they're thinking. They shoot 5 Jeopardy shows a day. I could run the table 5 times and cash in.
Right, you're suggesting cheating. That's what you're at.
But
I'm not
it's
making a moral
part of
judgment.
the fantasy.
It's a fantasy, sure. I just... That's not so much wanting to hear people's thoughts as it is trying to game the system.
Exactly.
Okay, well, there you go then.
How is it not the dog, though? Like, have you not wanted to know what's the new dog's name?
Murphy.
Murphy. Do you think you don't want to know what Murphy's thinking about?
I want to know that despite our best efforts to potty train this dog for the last month, and half the time he'll go right outside and go right where we want him to go, the other half of the time he just ignores it and pees and poops wherever he wants.
Well, you can ask him, and you can see if he's responding to what you're actually
asking.
asking.
I think his response would be, I'm a dog. I do whatever I want.
We have a pit mix he's a sweet boy, but he is super neurotic.
Yeah.
And the last couple nights, he's just been getting up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. He acts like he wants to go
like
out.
Me.
But you take him out, and he doesn't. He is so hard to pin down what's bugging him. It would be nice to know what the hell's bugging Bobo.
Does he Bobo? Does he sleep on the bed?
Yeah, he does.
So wait a minute.
So it might just be that.
Wasn't Bobo the name of the clown that you wrote the sitcom about?
Yeah. No, that was the monkey.
The monkey. It wasn't Bobo the name of the monkey?
Well, yes. Bobo came to us from a foster, and that was his name already. We didn't name him Bobo.
Oh, okay. So because I thought he might have been the inspiration for the TV show, which I think once again needs to be made.
Commander and Chimp.
Commander and Chimp is just waiting.
It really is.
Well, you already got Jay Moore. He says he's in.
He's in?
Yeah. Jay Moore wants to be involved in some way with Commander and Chimp.
Okay. Look, I love to have Jay Moore involved. I got to be honest. I cannot promise him outright the role of the scheming vice president because it's an incredible role.
Okay.
Like he may need to screen test.
What about as president, Jay?
You know what? The president
The
would
guy
be
who
good.
loses to Bobo.
Well, he in our script, the president...
Bobo is already president?
Well, no. Bobo is his pet monkey.
Got it.
And the scheming vice president who wants to be president,
right?
He puts a typo on the elections. The president's name is Bob. It's like Bob Johnson. He creates a typo where
Jay Moore
it's
has
Bobo.
already played Bob Sugar, so he could slide right into that role.
You know what? If Jay Moore wants to attach himself to this thing, the role of the president is promised you, Jay.
All right, there you go, Jay. I'm looking out for you. Let's get back to the phones because we promised we'd let you guys react to these trades. Carlton in Ventura is online. Carlton, 3 Laker trades. What do you think?
Okay, the first trade is definitely the best trade because Russell Westbrook was going to be a cancer, and he already started to be one. Don't like the second trade because it would have been nice to keep Bryant.
Right.
And Patrick Beverly, has he ever fouled anybody?
Never. Not in his entire... I bet.
I don't think I've ever seen him foul anyone.
Well, if you ask him, he's never fouled anyone.
Patrick Beverly is under the impression that every foul involving him is reviewable,
right?
And that coaches have unlimited challenges.
You know what's funny, Carlton? You know who else was like that, believe it or not? Never committed a foul his entire career, and you can watch any highlight that involves him getting called for a foul.
Kobe?
Magic Johnson.
Oh.
Like every time the ref called a foul, Magic would look at him like, what?
Look, every player thinks they never committed a foul. Stu Lance laughs about that all the time during broadcasts.
The fan that got up there and said, I know you guys aren't going to like this, but I think we should blow this team up.
Right.
That's the third fan after the first year is not going to watch the Lakers for the next 10 years. That's why Gene made a perfect move when she paid Kobe all that money because, like you said, L.A. is a star-driven town.
Yeah, they're not gonna field a team. The Lakers, and thank you for the phone call, Carl. Appreciate it.
Effing driven town.
Yeah, Jeannie understands that better than almost anybody I know. That was her dad's philosophy. This is a star-driven town. I'd be very shocked if she fielded a team with no stars. If she did what the Nets did, I'd be really surprised. By the way, you like the return the Nets got, but could you ever bring yourself to trade Kevin Durant?
If I know that Kevin Durant wants out that badly, and it's, this is his second time in 6 months that he requested a deal. A trade, and we've already seen Kevin Durant gets perpetually unhappy or dissatisfied wherever he is, and it's going to be difficult to attract free agents if they feel like KD's got one foot out the door. Your organization's going to be paralyzed if you keep staying with somebody that you know.
You're presenting the Michael Thompson argument. Michael feels if you're a GM in the league, and a player ever comes to you and says, I don't want to be here. I don't like what you're doing with this team. I want out. Michael would immediately trade him. get him out. And he said the guy he got that from was Jerry West. That when he came to the Lakers, Michael was super excited. By the way, he's going to be in shortly, so he can comment on some of this stuff. But he was super excited, and he said the first conversation he had with Jerry West is, hey, we're really happy to have you. We're going to switch you to a bench role. I know you're used to being a starter, but we're going to have you back up, both Kareem and AC Green, and, you and Kurt Rambis are going to be providing the bench, support. And we think you're going to be great at it. But if for any reason you don't want to be here, just come talk to me, and we'll get you out of here. It was just his philosophy that you don't want a disgruntled person in your organization. And so maybe the Nets finally came around to that way of thinking.
Well, I mean, look, you have to get something in return that makes you happy. Like, Dr. Buss ultimately didn't trade Kobe, in part because Kobe having a no-trade clause made it extremely difficult to trade him because you were negotiating with both the Lakers and Kobe.
Right.
Like, it's not that Dr. Buss was totally unwilling to move Kobe. It was, I can't move you for a package that will satisfy us. I feel like the Nets were in a position where they needed to move forward, and it was going to be impossible to move forward with Durant. They clearly didn't want to move him, but I think they just realized it's not going to get any better than this. And Mikal Bridges is a really good player. Like, Cam Johnson can be a good rotation player. I believe they got picks out of it. Like, it's about as good as they were going to do under terrible circumstances. They got 4 first-round picks.
Who did?
The Nets.
Yeah.
They got 4 first-round picks on top of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson.
All right. Here comes Michael. And I think Michael is going to agree with me. I think if you have Kevin Durant, you just don't trade him.
No, I don't agree with that.
All right, what do you think about what the Nets did with Kevin Durant?
I am of the Jerry West philosophy.
Yeah, I just told that story that Jerry West.
That's why I'm surprised that you thought Michael would disagree.
Yeah,
no, but you also know how good Durant is.
Yeah, he's
You're like, you have more respect for Durant than anybody I know.
Yes, because when he was with the Warriors, he was clearly the best player in basketball, and he was the one driving the bus up there, no matter what. What's his name? Charles Barkley said. I saw it firsthand how great and unstoppable he was. But it's like in any place of business, Ireland. If you don't want to be here, please. And I'm the boss, and your mind's not here, your body's not here, your heart's not here. Then move on. I can.
Okay.
We were here before you. We'll survive without you.
So I was texting with you today, Michael, and I was the one who told you about the Thomas Bryant trade.
Right.
And as I told you when I texted you, I didn't love it because I think Thomas Bryant's been really good this year. But he apparently, according to Ramona, went to the Lakers last week and asked for a trade. In your mind, that's it? As soon as he asks for the trade, you've got to make arrangements to get him out?
Yep. Whether you're a role player or a superstar, once you decided my heart's not here anymore, once you decided you're in a relationship, romantic or professional, and your heart's not anymore, Ireland, it's time to go, right? Why would your job be any different from a romantic or personal relationship?
Because people change their minds. I mean, remember when Kobe said, trade me to Pluto, and Dr. Buss said, I'm not trading you?
He was just mad.
Right, but he went to Dr. Buss and said, I want out.
Yeah.
In your world, you're saying you would have traded him.
Well, think about that. He went to Dr. Buss, the greatest owner in sports history, and he also had Jerry West here, the greatest president or GM in sports history, to convince him to trust us. We're going to make this work because he could trust those guys. But you trust Joe Tsai in Brooklyn? What's he ever done?
Dr. Buss was willing to move Kobe if he could have gotten a package that he wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
And also that Kobe would have signed off on the deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not that Dr. Buss was unwilling to do it.
Right.
It was, I'm not willing to do it. Like, remember, Kobe wanted to go to Chicago to play with Luol Deng.
That's right.
The Lakers are like, we want Luol Deng. He's the best player on the Bulls. We have to get him. Mm-hmm. Kobe's like, well, I'm not going to the Bulls if Luol's not there. Yeah. Under normal circumstances, Kobe might have been traded to the Bulls.
Yeah.
Michael, I've been saying all along, you disagree with me, that I think the Warriors are the team to beat in the West.
What?
I think with their experience.
What are you even looking at?
I know.
Did you see the game last night?
I know. But you're going to be happy now.
Quit living in the past. Look through the windshield.
I am now because now, Michael, the team I'm picking to win the West is Phoenix.
Of course. Now they got KD, and as long as they stay healthy, they're the team. They're the favorites to come out of the West and to win it all. The Warriors. You see what they did today with James Wiseman?
Yeah, you've been wondering for a while why they don't play him.
Whoever made that decision, I don't know how they lived that down because LaMelo Ball was sitting there.
Right.
I don't get it.
It's not as not as bad as taking Marvin Bagley over Luka, but it's close.
No, not even close to that.
Yeah.
But the fact that, and not only, okay, so you pick Wiseman, then develop him. How do you let him sit for 3 years and you don't teach him how to play? I don't get that. But anyway, I like the fact that Thomas Bryant's now in Denver was fine because I like how they replace him with Mo Bamba. Bamba's got some skills. That's another thing, too, in Orlando. This kid can play. He's athletic. He can actually block shots. He can protect the rim. How do you not teach him how to play the game? What are these coaches doing in practice?
So you're okay now with Bamba as the backup big to AD?
The only regret I have is Bamba wasn't here several years ago, so he could have played with Mamba.
Bamba and Mamba.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been fun
cool.
for you and me.
That would have been a great combination.
Right.
But no, I like Bamba because between him and Gabriel, that's two solid backups.
Okay, coming up, Michael, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do something
he's a
that
wing guy.
you love to do.
But you're right. These centers, there's only two centers in the league, really. Well, actually three now.
I'm going to give you a chance to disagree with Keyshawn.
Oh, I always do.
I'll explain coming
he?
up next. Andy Kavanitsky and Fermace, Michael Thompson hanging out. Lakers, Bucks tonight. You hear LeBron's out, Mike?
Yeah, I heard that. You know, his foot's sore. He's probably drained from the chase. He probably needs a night off.
Yeah, there is going to be a pregame ceremony honoring LeBron starting at 6:40. So if you have tickets to the game, try and be there by 6:40. They're
the game?
7.
Oh, good.
They're going to honor LeBron. Yeah, nationally televised. Giannis. I'm going to ask you about Giannis coming up too. What's that?
Know why I like 7 o'clock starts?
Because you can get home before they close the freeway.
Exactly. Before they start coning off the 405 South.
All right, coming up next. All right, this is a new Mo Bamba theme song.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Oh, hey, every time he gets a dunk or a block shot, he can play that.
Yeah, they should play this. Yeah. And Bamba is on his way to the Lakers in exchange for Patrick Beverley, one of 3 trades.
Although they got to pay him next year. You know, he's got a $10 million opt-in deal. And you know he's going to opt into that.
Bamba?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's only like a $300,000 or $400,000 guarantee.
Really? Off of $10 million?
I don't. Let me look at
Man,
this.
who's his agent? Vinny Boom Bots? Vinny Boom, Dr. Vinny Boom Bots?
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield.
He and Vanderbilt. I got to look this up to make sure I have the exacts, but I think they both have like very small guarantees up to a certain point for next year.
All right, so that might help. The one thing that I find fascinating is that the Brooklyn Nets have now been broken up. If you haven't heard.
Yeah, but they got, like Andy says, they got a good team.
Okay, the Suns sent Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, a 2028 pick swap for Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren. Now, on the surface, it looks like a miserable failure what happened in Brooklyn. They hired Steve Nash.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now,
that part's
unless you ask Keyshawn Johnson, who was on this morning with Max.
Was the KD Kyrie – I can't ask this question. Are we seriously asking this question?
Yes, we are.
Was it a failure? Tell me, sit with a straight face, tell me you're going to say KD and Kyrie and James Harden, the greatest collection of talent in the history maybe of sports on the same team, was not a failure. They didn't do anything. They didn't get to a finals, they didn't get the conference championship.
They're in the same spot that they were in. What they did is they just wasted. They're the same. Brooklyn's in the same spot that they were in before they acquired these dudes. I don't call it a failure because they was only together 16 games. What I call it was a bad experiment that went wrong.
That's a failure.
Wait a minute. Doesn't a bad experiment that went wrong constitute a failure?
Yeah, Keyshawn.
I love you, Key. You're really overthinking this.
Was he worried about hurting somebody's feelings in Brooklyn or something?
If you get James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving all on the same team, and you don't go to the finals 3 years in a row, it's a failure.
One of the biggest busts in sports history.
Yeah, it's a failure. I love, everybody knows who listens, and I'm owning my mistake here today, knows I love Russell Westbrook, and I liked the trade when they made it. Even me, the world's biggest Russell Westbrook apologist, has to admit that was a miserable failure, that move.
Yeah, I just don't understand Kevin. I'll never get over Kevin Durant leaving Steph Curry for Kyrie Irving. And I like Kyrie Irving. But to leave Steph Curry for Kyrie Irving would be like leaving...
Michael, bigger name on the other line?
Leaving Betty White for Carrie.
No, Betty White for Carrie.
You know what, Young?
Which one of those people are the prize?
No, Mary Tyler Moore of the Mary Tyler Moore Show for Carrie. I'll just put it that way,
All
okay?
right.
Come on, you have a nice, steady, beautiful...
Betty White was a former beauty queen.
Yeah, in Ireland. Don't think of the Betty
What was
White
her name?
99.
Sue Ann Nivens?
Yeah, Sue Ann
was on
Nivens.
that
Like leaving
show.
Sue
Betty
Ann
White
Nivens
was
for Carrie.
a beautiful woman.
Yes, she was.
Well, when I think of Betty White, I think of 99-year-old
She was still beautiful.
Betty White.
She was still beautiful at 99. I hope I could look that good at 99.
Okay, Michael, of the 3 Laker trades, you got any problem with any of them?
No. I mean, they're all intriguing. D'Angelo Russell comes back. Jared Vanderbilt's a long, lanky, athletic wing. We all call them wings these days.
Yeah.
And
Malik Beasley can shoot.
He can shoot it. Yeah, so they got a nice...
You like Mo Bamba.
I like Mo Bamba a lot. They just got to give him a chance to play.
I don't know if Devon Reed will even make the team, but they got 3 second-round picks in the Bryant deal.
They don't need Devon Reed because you got Reeves, you got Walker, you got Troy Brown.
They had too many guards as it is.
Yeah, or wings they call them now. Wings. They're like Paul McCartney. They're in the wings. or Buffalo.
What did Warriors traded for Gary Payton? Sent James Wiseman out. What did you think of what the Warriors did?
I hate that. I don't understand. Wiseman. Every time I see him on the floor, he looks so athletic, and graceful for a big guy. But yet they could not teach him how to play or give him a chance to play. I would at least play. I mean, Gary Payton was a good addition for them last year. Good defensive stopper. They really liked him there, but they're still too small. Watching them play the Blazers last night, who's not a giant
and they
team.
Gave up size.
They gave up all kind of rebounds. Like, geez, Steve Kerr, get some size out there. Size. Dr. Ruth is right. Size. No, she says not doesn't matter. Huh?
Yeah.
She's wrong.
Okay.
Size does matter.
Michael, let me answer this question. You knew because you saw them play at Golden State, and they both won rings. Mm-hmm. And you liked both of these guys. Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones.
Yeah.
Why didn't they work with the Lakers?
Well, yeah, Thomas Bryant. You had all these other wings, so there was no room for him. Damian Jones is a guy who could help the Warriors. I sound like a Warrior fan. I guess I kind of am. But did I say that out loud? But he could help because they need someone who can play above the rim. So wherever Damian Jones goes, he's going to Utah. I guess he can hopefully get some minutes there. But in one, Scott Anderson is the classic wing these days. Sort of a 3-and-D guy will knock down the occasional three and play good defense.
He also, too, JTA was in a lot of ways meant to be a culture guy. Yeah. And the culture guy matters the most when your team is really good. Like, a couple of years ago, Jared Dudley was really important as a culture guy. But if your team isn't performing well, you need the talent more than you need the culture guy.
Yeah.
Michael, you've been traded in the middle of the season before. What's the biggest adjustment for all these 5 new Lakers who are going to come in here? I don't imagine we'll see any of them tonight, but Saturday we might.
Yeah, Saturday.
What's the biggest challenge when you get traded in the middle of the season like you did a couple of times?
Well, it's just fitting in right away, which is easier to do because the offenses today are so pedestrian and so non-creative and with not a ton of plays. So it's a lot easier to do now because everybody plays the same, high screen, shooter 3. So it'll be easy for these guys to adjust right away. When I came to the Lakers, I had to learn like 20 plays in like 2-3 days.
Right.
That's the thing too, Ireland, about I say how simple basketball is today, Kamenetsky. You ever watch, back in our day when we with either Jack Ramsey or with Pat Riley, we would call a timeout. We'd go sit on the bench. The coach would come sit over to us and say, tell you what, when we go back out, let's run fist up, or let's run 2 out, let's run 2 across, let's run 3 down. Now you'll see every coach out there standing up drawing plays on a chalkboard like they just making it up.
For the first 2 minutes of the timeout, and then when there's 30 seconds left, they'll go over and say something to those
when
guys.
Pat Riley would call a time and say, listen, or imagine, what fist ups is going to work, or 52 slice is going to work. So we didn't have to have Riley sit there and draw up the plays on a chalkboard to tell us what they are because we knew what they were as soon as they said them. Now you don't see coaches doing that anymore. They all sound there drawing up plays as they sit around.
Big name. Michael's got a lot of big names after him today.
There's a button on the other side. You just put it on silent.
Radio, Miller.
Oh, hang up on that guy. He's calling. No,
I'll call you back.
He's calling to rip me like he always does.
Yeah, you hear that? Ireland says you're calling to rip him.
Yeah.
He says he loves Ireland.
Hang up on that
guy. There's Andy Kamenetsky.
Yeah.
LeBron was the best call I've ever heard.
That was good.
Wait, he said something nice about me?
That's right. That was a good
first.
call.
Ireland had the best call of LeBron becoming the all-time NBA scoring leader.
Maybe Dave is changing his tune.
That was, and you notice how I just sat out of it and let him do his thing.
Yeah, that was very nice of you.
Well, you know what? That was the first time you were speechless.
Shut up. Goodbye. I'll call you back.
All right, yeah. Hang up on that guy. Yeah. All right, now
that was a good call, Ireland. You must have got some compliments on that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's a guy that called me today is doing a story on it. But I will say this, that in the back of my mind, Andy, you probably like that call. You're a Prince fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I got to hand something to Chris Morales and Mario Ruiz that they can go to work with. Because if you give them something, like I played up that Prince Party Man angle, they'll turn it into radio gold, both those guys, and they did. So, and then it lives on more than just the night of the game.
That's right.
Okay, so Giannis is in town, Mike.
Yes. Worth the price of admission, even though LeBron's not playing.
I was just thinking that he is probably worth the price of a ticket more than anybody.
Yes.
I have said, and I think you agree with me, that LeBron is the best open court player in the history of the NBA. Yep. In other words, if he gets the ball, Andy, and he's going downhill, that it doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 guys in front of him. He's taking it right to the rim.
Look at that look on his face. You don't believe that?
I'm not even disagreeing, and I'm just saying, think about who you played with in the open court.
But Magic was a passer.
Oh, no. I'm not saying
talking about Jordan?
No. I'm talking about MJ.
Oh, yeah,
MJ
Jordan
was incredible.
Yeah, but you know what? He ain't 6'8", 260.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying think how great you have to be to say somebody is a better open court player than Magic.
Okay,
or Kobe.
You've taken me where I want to go. Is it possible, Michael, you first, and I'm strictly talking about you give a guy the ball at one end of the court, the defense is not set up, he takes it to the other end of the court and scores. All right, that defines the best open court. I think LeBron is better than anyone who has ever played. Michael, is it possible Giannis inherits that title from LeBron the second LeBron goes?
Well,
in the open court, how would you try and stop Giannis?
You're right. He's not as adept a ball handler as LeBron. He doesn't handle the ball as well, but he handles it well enough. And he's got these strides that looks like a velociraptor.
Right.
It just covers like 30 feet at a time. And from half court he takes 2 steps. He can, but sometimes he takes 4, and they don't call it traveling because of that stupid Euro step or whatever they call it.
But in terms of what he's going to do,
Yeah.
and you still can't stop him,
he's
is Giannis the second coming of LeBron in that regard?
He's the second best in the open court that I've seen because he's got those Inspector Gadget arms.
Right.
I mean, he takes off from the dotted line, or not even a dotted line, it's the dashed line circle, and he gets to the basket, so he just extends, and he'll dunk it. He's just amazing.
Andy, what do you think?
I think he will be the best when LeBron retires. I don't think he'll be better, though, than LeBron was.
No.
Because LeBron, like Michael says, has the handle that Giannis's is good, but it ain't LeBron's.
No.
Right.
He also has court vision that Giannis's is good, but it ain't LeBron's.
Well, the one thing that calling LeBron's games these past 4 years, Michael and I used to get LeBron twice a year for, however many, 20 years we were doing it. And then now we get LeBron every night. I knew he was a good passer. He's a great passer.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, we're all spoiled because Magic Johnson, maybe the greatest passer of all time, played here and, set up a clinic. Michael used to tell me stories that if he didn't keep his head looking at Magic the whole time, the next thing he knew, the ball would hit him in the head. That Magic was that good. He didn't. The hardest thing, Worthy and Michael have both told me the same thing about Magic. And Michael, expound on this. That the hardest thing to get used to playing with Magic, and once you get used to it, it changed overnight, is that he could see you even though you couldn't see him. In other words, you had to be ready for the ball to come to you even though Magic wasn't looking at you, right?
Yep, exactly.
And I would imagine LeBron's got a little of that. I don't know if anybody will ever be better than Magic at that. John Stockton's going to hold the all-time assist record.
I told you a guy I've seen better than Magic at that.
Jokic.
Yeah. That guy is just uncanny.
He's unbelievable.
Well, and you told me that back in the day, everybody knows about Domantas Sabonis. You said his dad was like that too,
Arvydas,
right?
Yeah, we didn't see the best of Arvydas Sabonis, but by the time he came to the NBA, he was a shell of himself.
But he still could pass, though.
Yep,
when he was in the NBA, he could pass.
But I can't tell you guys how many times I've worked a game with LeBron and thought, okay, so LeBron had 30, 10, and 10, all right? It's the assists you remember because he just makes these passes that are unbelievable. And we've interviewed him enough times where he will tell you that's his favorite thing to do. He would much rather have a game with 30 assists than 60
Well, then why didn't he break John Stockton's record instead of Kareem's?
Well, he might. He's fourth all time.
No, I think he's too far away from Stockton.
Yeah, I do too. But, he's Michael, the other scorers, the other top 30 scorers, aren't in the top 50 in assists.
Yeah, that's because they're ball
LeBron
hogs.
is 1 and 4. That's one all-time,
Actually,
one on the scoring list, fourth on the assist list.
Give him a little bit of praise on his way out. When Russell Westbrook recently passed Gary Payton and entered, I believe it was 10th on the all-time scoring, either 10th or 9th, I looked it up. The only players ahead of Russ on both the all-time scoring and all-time assist lists are Oscar Robertson and LeBron. That's it. They're the only 2 players.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Well, Russ is going to the Hall of Fame
Right.
regardless of how this Lakers stint has gone.
Yeah.
I'm
As well
I'm
he
a,
should.
Yeah, I'm a Westbrook apologist, but, I know this didn't work.
How ticked off is he? He's gonna get bought out. Is he gonna end up with the Clippers? That's what I've been hearing.
Well,
which I hope it does for him.
Yeah,
Stays weird, home.
What's weird about that is
because he's not going to Utah.
All right, we'll talk about that when we come back, and also coming up later this hour. Think of all the times you guys have watched SportsCenter. All right, I got a challenge for you. Write down your top 5 all-time SportsCenter anchors. I'll explain to you why I'm asking coming up. Top 5 SportsCenter, and it can be from any period. So you could have Chris Berman, Stuart Scott. You could go nowadays. You could go Scott Van Pelt. You can do whatever you want. Just 5 top SportsCenter anchors. We'll get to that later in the hour. Mace is out of here today. Andy Kamenetsky in for Mace. Michael's hanging out. Pepe Montilla, the Spanish voice of the Lakers, has never, ever hosted Game of Games. He's participated.
Ooh.
Today he will host for the first time ever. Pepe's game coming up later. Mason in Ireland. Mason in Ireland. Michael Thompson hanging out with us. Andy Kamenetsky's in for Mace. Lakers made 3 trades, and they're going to have 5 new players on the roster, probably more likely Saturday. I don't know if any of these guys will get in here tonight, although, Michael, your first game with the Lakers, you basically arrived and they threw you right out there, right?
Got traded on Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, I was on a Southwest flight. I think it was Southwest back in those days. Who knows? Southwest flight to L.A. Saturday afternoon. Bill Burger woke me up, called me at the Airport Park Hotel that evening and says, "You'll be over here at 8:30, boy, so I can go through some plays in the morning."
That's a very good Burtka, by the way.
Exactly.
Who's now 94 and still works for the
That's
Lakers.
right. So I had to get over there 8:30 for a 12:30 tip and go through about 5 or 6 plays so I could sort of fill in when I do get in for Kareem.
And played that day and played well.
10
and the
points,
Lakers,
5 rebounds, 2 blocks, but who remembers?
Yeah.
Against the Celtics.
And so by the way, no LeBron tonight. No LeBron. He is sitting out with a sore left ankle. There will be a ceremony before the game honoring LeBron for breaking the all-time scoring record. If you have tickets to the game, that ceremony starts at 6:40. The game starts a little after 7 o'clock. Lakers in Milwaukee. By the way, Michael, I'm taking Milwaukee to come out of the East. They've won 8 games in a row. They're averaging 130 points a game.
Yeah.
You like anybody better than them in the East?
I mean, it's a toss-up. It's a toss salad over there. You got Philadelphia's playing well with Embiid, probably going to win the MVP. Boston, now that Brown's got a facial fracture, but he'll be back by the playoffs. Plus, he'll probably just wear a mask. So, yeah, right now, Milwaukee's as good as anyone.
By the way, Tony Stock says, I need to give you credit, Michael.
For what?
Because Tuesday, you consistently said LeBron would break the scoring record that night.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wanted all the headlines before the trade deadline.
That's right.
And it's a good thing he did it that way,
Exactly.
because now everything is kind of...
Plus, you saw the scene in the building that night. His family was there. Every friend he knows in life was there. Every celebrity was there. That was the
You
perfect
show
time
up
do
to
it.
that game basically dressed like John Wick.
Yeah.
You are.
You know what, Andy?
Yeah.
I think you're obviously trying to be funny. I actually thought that exact same thing you did. I thought he's not smiling. He looks like Kobe used to act during the finals.
I tweeted out a photo at Cam Brothers of LeBron at the game and John Wick, like side by side. Like that was the look of somebody saying, I am not screwing around.
Right.
Plus, too, when you show up like that, you kind of have to break it.
That's right.
Because if you don't, you look like somebody who called their shot and missed.
Well, and everybody was in the house. They would have had to do it again. It's like everybody coming to your wedding and then you saying, never mind, we're doing it on Thursday.
Or the bride left.
Yeah, the bride left.
She's a runaway bride.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so the Big Lead, which is a good website, it has a lot of sports stuff, has ranked the top 30 sports anchors of all time. Okay? So here's their top 10 in reverse order. So going 10 to 1. Kenny Mayne, Steve Levy, Rich Eisen, Scott Van Pelt, Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann, Linda Cohn, Bob Lee, Chris Berman, Stuart Scott. I could not disagree more with that list. I've been watching SportsCenter since it started. Bergman, did you do a list?
I did.
Who's your number 5 all time?
My number 5 all time is going to be Neil Everett.
All right. I have Neil at number 2. I think Neil Everett was put on this earth to be a SportsCenter anchor. He's funny. He's smart. He doesn't take it too seriously. He can do serious. He can do funny. I have him number 2. Jorge, did you do a list?
Yeah.
Who's number 5?
Number 5, I got Antonietta Collins.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
Tony Collins worked with Mason and I, actually hosted First Take when Mason and I went back there. Super cool.
Yeah, she's
super cool. Andy, number 5, who?
Kenny Mayne.
Good one. Michael, did you do a list?
Chris Berman.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 5, I'm surprised none of you had maybe coming up later. Craig Kilborn. I thought he was funny, smart, good.
He made my apologies list, apologies to list.
Others receiving votes
Yes,
list?
I debated
Okay.
him very heavily as number 5.
Bergman, number 4 is who?
Dan Patrick.
All right, a good choice.
that was
He didn't make
fantastic.
mine, but I had him at number 6. Jorge?
SVP.
That's mine. I have Scott Van Pelt at number 4. Andy?
Linda Cohn.
Good one. Michael?
Cohn.
All right. Linda's great. We've had her on the show. She's excellent. All right, number 3, Bergman. Who you got?
Linda Cohn. Longevity, and she is great.
Yeah, she is great. I had her at 7.
She's super nice on top of it.
You're a misogynist.
I'm not a misogynist.
I bet you no woman in your top 5.
You are correct. Maybe I am. Andy, number 3.
Rich Eisen.
Good one. Michael?
Number 3 for me is Stan Barrett. Good energy.
Okay. Number 3 for me, Stuart Scott, who I thought also never took himself too seriously, had a lot of fun, invented his whole lexicon of things that people have stolen for years. All right, Bergman, who you got at 2?
Scott Van Pelt.
All right, good, solid, voice of SportsCenter today. Jorge, 2.
Berman. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Berman. I already said mine, Neil Everett. Andy, 2.
Stuart Scott.
Good one. Michael, number 2.
Scott for me.
All right, Stuart Scott. All right, here's the money pick. Bergman, number 1 all-time best SportsCenter anchor is who?
Stuart Scott.
Okay.
Was the best by far.
Mine too. Mine too. Yeah.
All right. For me, I don't think and I know he turned some people off with his politics. Keith Olbermann is the best sports anchor I've ever seen. Almost insanely overqualified for the job. Just super smart in the room. His cadence, his delivery, everything. Olbermann, number 1 for me. Andy, how about you?
Yeah, Olbermann was great. Scott Van Pelt.
Number 1.
Yep. I think
Michael, who's your number 1?
Classy lady, Sage Steele.
Oh, she's great. And she's super nice, too.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Sage Steele, I know I'm not supposed to say this anymore in America, but I will, just because it is stunning in person in terms of her beauty.
No, she's a beautiful lady.
Yeah, you walk in and you go, huh, every insecurity I have about my physical appearance is coming to the surface.
So does Frank Kaminsky's fiance, what's her name?
Ashley Burr.
Yeah, she's
Frank,
by the way, got traded today to Houston.
Oh, so that means maybe Ashley's going to Houston.
Of course.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they were engaged.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know
an
that.
item. She was at the game the other night when they were. Who was he with? He was with
the Hawks, right?
Hawks, that's right.
Yeah.
She was at front center.
I did
Norm
not know
Pattis's old seats.
Mike, are you surprised with the amount of trades that went down today?
Yeah, I was surprised with the volume of trades. Usually it's kind of quiet sometimes, but boy, that was a good trading deadline. And hopefully the NFL and Major League Baseball can learn from the NBA because their trading deadlines are like going to dinner with Alan Sleewa. He's not listening.
Of course he's listening.
No, I'm pretty sure he's listening, Michael.
Look at Bergman in there. He's gonna dump.
He's such
All right.
I'm not dumping you for that.
I have an
He's such a great guy.
I have an ethical dilemma involving a bride and her father that I will share with you coming up next. Also, what's up, fool? Coming up right around the corner.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're in the 909. You can see it right here. Food, beer, fandom here at Yamavan. I'm going to tell you this, that on the day of the big game, right here in the 909, for every touchdown scored, we're giving away $1,000. They should never have done this with me, because I'm like, yo, now I want to give away a whole bunch of your money. $1,000 per touchdown on the day of the big game. We'll see you here at the 909 out here at Yamavan.
710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
All right, Mason and Ireland. Andy Kamenetsky in for Mace. I'm John Ireland. Michael Thompson hanging out with us. We are all either married or have been married. So I'm going to propose this is from our favorite page, Am I an A-hole on Reddit? And the question comes from a father of a bride, okay? On her wedding day, here's what he writes. My daughter got married last weekend, and it was a beautiful and joyous occasion. However, there's one thing that happened during the reception that's been bothering me, and I'm not sure if I am the a-hole in this situation. He went on to describe what happened. During the reception, the wedding cake was served, and everyone was having a slice. I didn't want any because I really don't like cake, and I was already pretty full from dinner. I figured it was no big deal and no one would notice if I didn't have any. But his daughter did notice. She noticed I wasn't eating the cake and she got really upset. She accused me of not supporting her and not being a good parent because I didn't want to eat the cake. He added, she said, it was a tradition for the parents to eat a slice of the wedding cake, and that by not doing so, I showed a lack of respect for her and her new spouse.
Run, groom, run.
The father said further, I tried to explain to her it was just a personal preference. I was still happy for her and supportive of her marriage, but she didn't want to hear it. He also said she was so upset. She stormed off, and now she's not talking to her father.
This is a bad sign for the groom.
I'm not sure what to do or how to make things right. I don't want to cause any more hurt or disrespect, but at the same time, I don't want to have to eat something I don't like just to make her happy. Bergman, is the father an a-hole, and did he handle this properly?
I think he handled it just fine. It's just cake. What are we doing here?
Yep.
No, of course he's not an a-hole.
Jorge, should he have eaten the cake?
No, there's nothing wrong with the guy, man.
Andy?
I don't think he did anything wrong, but at this point he should just apologize.
For what?
Just apologize to make it
Michael,
simpler.
Wouldn't it have been easier if he just ate the cake?
This girl is a freaking psycho. If this is going to bother her, imagine what her poor husband's got to put up with. Her new husband said, I'm out. Can I get this annulled? If that's going to upset her that much where she won't speak to her father, imagine if he makes one little mistake or gets her upset or something. Imagine all the
tell you right now at home, he's eating all the cakes.
Man, no. That's ridiculous.
Her
father doesn't like cake. She doesn't understand he's not a cake guy. Don't force him to eat something he don't like. Something's wrong with her.
All right. It would appear that most of the commenters, people comment on Reddit, agree with Michael Thompson.
Heck yeah, something's wrong with her,
First comment, honestly. I'm wondering where your daughter comes off being such a bridezilla about a piece of cake, especially since you clarified you love and support her. I'm already feeling bad for her spouse.
Exactly. Didn't I just say that?
Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Here's another one. I figure this conflict must have a history that we're not being told about. People who have a good relationship don't just suddenly come up with bizarre things to fight about. Andy, you buy that one?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She has either
issues.
I was going to say she has either suspected or maybe the father has given her reason to suspect that he does not think this marriage is going to work or that he doesn't like her husband, something like that. Because I agree, like the odds that this is purely just about the cake feels pretty insane.
She's just insecure.
Another Reddit user basically summed up how I think I feel about this. I have no idea who did and did not have cake at my wedding because I was too busy having my wedding to notice.
Exactly.
I don't think my wife even had cake beside the bite we ceremoniously fed to one another because she isn't a big fan of cake either. Mm-hmm. It's no big deal if you don't eat cake, and nobody should notice.
Right. She's a little off, man. For that to upset her that much, to ruin her wedding and ruin her relationship with her father, that's not normal.
At the end of the day, another commenter, at the end of the day, it's just cake. You were there for her on her big day, and that's what's important.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, it's about more than the cake.
No, something wrong with her. Don't blame it on the father.
I didn't blame it on him. I did not blame it on him.
got
I
issues.
said it's about more than the cake.
All right.
That's all I said.
Let me
But
take
you think
this.
maybe he neglected her as she was a little
All right.
girl or something like that?
Look, it may be all incorrect from her perspective. I'm just saying it's about more than the cake.
All right.
He
Has to
walked her
be,
down
yeah.
the aisle, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have been upset if my dad, if I was a woman, I would have been upset if my dad didn't walk me down the aisle.
All right, now would this make me the a-hole? If Lisa
Yes.
did that at our wedding and she screamed at her dad for not eating cake, and I say to Lisa, you know what? You're nuts. I'm out. Annulment.
That's what I'm just saying. Because you know what you're going to be in for later.
Right.
If that little
Again,
issue is
yes.
going to throw her off.
That would make me an
Yes,
a-hole.
yes, 100%.
Michael
You're done.
supports me.
I support him.
It would just make you a
course
dummy
you
because
do.
you're
That
not
is-
doing better than Lisa.
That is a warning sign, Bergman.
Yeah, that's
No,
Andy's right, by
But
the way.
like it happens on your big day, your wedding day, your bridezilla. That's a whole thing that happens. There's groomzillas too. Like it doesn't matter if you're supposed to be. You just married this woman. You're supposed to be there for her and through thick and thin. And this is thin.
I guess up to that point, I'm sure you probably dated her for a while, so you got to know her, so you kind of know she's a little weird anyway.
Right, exactly. So, you know.
And you still went through with the wedding, idiot.
Yeah,
You don't know what they have with
we
their
used to
like.
we used to work with Chet Forty, the legendary Monday Night Football director, and directed everything at ABC Sports for many years. Michael Roth has weighed in.
Oh, good.
Just for the photo op, he should have had one small bite. Wouldn't have hurt anybody.
And then spit it out after she
But-
turns her back.
No prizes for being right. Just try and make everyone happy.
That's why I
actually
said
good.
just
That's-
apologize.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if she's in the wrong. Sometimes the apology is just the simple way to make something go away.
Well, you
Just-
think if you apologize, I'm sorry, didn't take a bite of the cake, she'll be all right?
I think if you let her know you understand how she feels about it,
I don't.
And you don't have to. You
Oh,
need
okay.
to
Just be the bigger man, huh?
Yes, sometimes it's about the bigger picture, and just you want this thing to go away.
All right. Somebody
Just
gave
apologize.
me gave me great advice right before my wedding. He said, if it
Eat the
hasn't
cake?
No, he said if it hasn't happened already, there is going to become a moment in this thing. One of the guys in my wedding told me this. There's going to become a moment in this thing where this event takes on a life of its own and becomes much bigger than you. Just manage it. He said, don't do anything to make it worse. There are going to be people that are going to react out of character and be nuts over something. I'm telling you, and he was right. Like people that were involved with the wedding would lose it for a second. I'd go, it's okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done.
That's right. No sweat.
Yeah, which makes it different. All right, Bergman's got What's Up, Foo coming up next. By the way, we had dinner with Bergman, Jorge, Mason, and I had dinner last night.
Where?
Mastros across the street.
Nice. Who paid?
Craig Karmazon. It was part of
Wow.
the. Okay, so remember Cover 5, the app that we have that you can. People should know about Cover 5. If not, you can download the Cover 5 app and you can pick games against all of us. So Craig challenged all the shows back at the start of the football season. Whoever can get the most people to sign up for Cover 5, I'll buy him dinner. So last night he paid off the dinner. But Jorge was telling me, Maite's 4. We have to start worrying, right, Jorge, about her getting a big head because she now knows she's the star of What's Up, Fool, because she says this.
Yeah. Say it. Play it.
Play, Greg. Well, Maite is a.
What's up, fool?
Yeah, that's Maite. That's Jorge's 4-year-old daughter.
She was already the star with Vote for Jorge.
Vote for Jorge, yeah.
But now now she has a daily segment which she is convinced is hers, which I fully support.
Vote for Jorge used to be a daily segment too.
Yeah. And so coming up next, Bergman's going to throw a whole bunch of stuff at it, and we'll have it. Now, Greg, have you?
Yes, sir.
Have you arranged for the arrival of Pepe Montilla?
I texted him earlier, and he still has not gotten back to me.
You think he's chickening out?
Oh, yeah, he's going to chicken out. He ain't showing up.
Well, luckily, we're trying to save it for tomorrow, but Andy has a backup game just in case.
I got a game.
Just in case.
Well, I got a backup game if
All
he
right,
doesn't
good.
show up.
All right, so if he doesn't show up, we will be covered. But Pepe, if you're listening, text Bergman back because getting in here is like Fort Knox.
Come on,
we
man.
got to tell you what to do and how to get in here. So that's coming up for you next hour. Coming up next, What's Up, Foo? Andy in for Mace. Michael's hanging
As Bobcat. It's time for What's Up, Foo?
What's up, Foo?
Take it away, Kirby Gray.
Thank you very much. All right, so Brandon Marshall was hilarious at the NFL Combine. This former NFL wide receiver, Brandon Marshall, was at an NFL opening night or whatever they call media day now.
Right.
So
yeah.
take a listen to and tell me if you think this is funny or mean.
All right, brother. So how you doing?
Good, man.
Good. All right, great. Rihanna came out and said that you are the greatest quarterback ever. Hearing that, how does that make you feel?
It makes you feel great. She's gonna crush it at halftime. I have family members that I think are more excited about the halftime show than they are the game. And so whatever Rihanna says is like the gospel. So I'm glad that she went with me for that honor.
She didn't. She didn't. I was just messing around.
Oh man, you got me up here smiling and smirking.
Obviously, he was talking to Kermit the Frog or Patrick Mahomes, whoever you want to say that is. So, what do you think? Do you think that was mean or funny from Brandon Marshall?
Funny. Yeah, I don't mind him messing with Mahomes a little bit and telling him that Rihanna said he was the greatest when she never said it. What do you think, Michael?
Well, that was mean because from then, well, how do you know anything he says to you is for real? You could be making the next question up too.
Well, most media people make crap up anyway.
But that was Brandon Marshall. That wasn't
Julia McIntyre wouldn't have said
wasn't
that.
Jim Hill.
Julia McIntyre is now we've turned her into a big star.
She should be.
When she walks around Crypto.com Arena, people are like, "You're Julia McIntyre?" Yeah, good for her.
Right.
Andy, what do you think?
I'm
funny or mean?
I'm guessing they have a good relationship, so it's just funny.
Yeah,
it's random as hell is what it is. It's really out of left field.
Yeah. Yeah, you think Rihanna knows who Patrick Mahomes is?
Yeah, she's performing in the Super Bowl.
So, you think she knows who's playing?
I bet she knows enough to know who Patrick Mahomes is in a commercial every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but she ain't watching football. You think
But
she does? She's from Barbados.
He's in commercials.
They don't watch football down there.
They watch real football.
The real football. That's right.
Yeah, and he's in commercials that appear during real football.
That's true. What do you mean, American football?
Like she's probably familiar with, what is it, Subway or whatever he does.
I would love to, if I could sit down and have a cappuccino
State
with
Farm.
Rihanna. I'd love to have a cappuccino with Rihanna and go, hey, Rihanna, what do you think of Jalen Hurts?
Do you think she knows who Clay is?
No idea. She knows who Steph is because everybody knows Steph, of course, and LeBron. People.
I bet you Rihanna knows who Clay is.
I bet she does.
I bet you $1.
Okay, we'll find out.
We'll find out next time.
You're on. Bet taken, Greg.
Exactly.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so you remember the name Cowboy Joe West?
Oh, the umpire, baseball
yes.
umpire.
He's a retired MLB umpire that had one of the worst strike zones in the history of baseball. He was a disaster. But he's spending his retirement in a very strange way. He's editing his own Wikipedia page and removing anything that makes him look bad. If you could edit
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
How do you do that?
Is that easy to do?
So he has apparently it's under Crew Chief 22, and he always wore number 22. And one of the things he said, they stopped his editing privileges, and he says, I constructively corrected the BS that was on this page. There was never a shoving match between Joe Torre and West. I should know. I was there. So it's obviously him, but I don't know how you have to go into a whole different site. It's a weird way to do it. But if you could edit one thing from your professional past, what would you edit?
Oh, that's a great question. From my professional
You mean that's in writing?
Although,
no, just anything from your professional past.
Wait, so it'd probably be the time I got caught putting makeup on in Toronto. Although that turned out to be a really funny bit. I was number 1 on SportsCenter's Not Top 10. I was on the Tonight Show. I was on the Daily Show.
Well, don't edit that.
So maybe I don't want to do that. I don't know, Michael. What would you edit out of your professional past?
I know what I would do. I would eliminate the imitating voices.
Oh, yeah, that made Greg happy. Andy, what would you do?
Really quick, want to clarify something. Rihanna absolutely knows who Clay is because I just Googled Rihanna Clay Thompson, and there was a story about years ago during the finals between the Warriors and the Cavs. Rihanna got under the skin of some Warriors because she was trash talking and heckling because she was a big Cavs fan.
That's right, yeah.
So she absolutely knows who Clay is.
Really? You think so?
Yes, Clay was a star of that team.
Yeah, but she really wasn't. Do you think she probably knows Steph? Maybe Draymond because he's so loud, but she doesn't know Clay.
You know who Rihanna knows? Who? Alex Caruso.
Oh, yes, she does.
Really? How?
Why?
Oh, there's a whole meme of her staring him down when he was with the Lakers.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
She's into the bald guy.
You got a shot, Michael.
May have to talk to my wife about something open going on.
It means you got a shot, Kaminsky.
You know what? Honestly, I think my wife would say, if you really think you can make it happen with Rihanna,
you put that wig on I saw in that picture.
Give
You'll
it a
be able
go.
to do it again. That wig, the guitar.
apparently the wig won't make it happen. The wig will make it worse. That was my real hair.
That was real?
Oh, no, that was real hair.
You look like Joe Walsh in that picture.
Yeah, I showed that to like 4 people that know you, and I said, "Who is this?" And none of them got it.
Okay, well, there was the photo that I tweeted out at Cam Brothers. That was my real hair around like 25, 26. But then somebody photoshopped me with basically like Willie Nelson looking hair. That was fake.
Okay.
But the younger photo of me, that was my real hair.
Man, you look like Bono, like young Bono from U2.
Yes, I did.
You ever hear the joke? What's the one thing you don't want to hear when you're making out with Willie Nelson? I'm not Willie Nelson. Bergman.
What's up, fool?
All right, cauliflower pizza. That's what we're having for dinner tonight because somebody in my household wants to try new foods.
What kind of pizza?
Cauliflower pizza. I've
sounds
never had.
good.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about trying new foods?
I don't mind vegetables like spinach or cauliflower on my pizza because I love vegetables. And they cook it, and cooked cauliflower is delicious.
But why can't we just have real pizza?
Jorge could not possibly agree with you more.
Right?
Cauliflower pizza, get lost.
Come on.
What are you talking
I
about?
bet you'll like it once you try it.
Oh, we'll
yeah,
see.
but why? I might like it, but I'm not going to like it as much as pepperoni or
Well, that's
sausage.
true.
exactly.
No, but it still tastes good.
Why am I compromising my pizza?
The cauliflower is the crust, not on
Right.
top of it.
Right.
No, I'm out. I want regular pizza.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Good. Healthy.
Not only would I try it, I'm with Michael. Like, as far as that crust, I know what you're talking about. I think they
Right.
have it like Trader Joe's and some other spots.
Sure, yeah.
I recently put roasted cauliflower that I had left over from a different dinner on a pizza that I made myself. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Try it. You like it.
I'll give you guys a review tomorrow.
No, yeah, try it. It's actually you won't really be able to tell that much of a difference.
Storm out like the dad with the cake and say you're going to refuse to eat it. And then,
I'm gonna hurt
and then
her
report
feelings.
back. Yeah. My tail stopped talking to you. It'll be great.
Hey, how about somebody text me at 8, be like, "Hey, I need you to do something," and I can leave.
I'm going to try and remember
What time is
to
dinner?
do-
You guys have a game.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out.
No,
What
I'm
time
gonna
is
text you.
dinner?
I'm going to text you at dinner and
like
ask you how was the
6:30.
pizza.
All right, 6:30 dinner. All right, so about 6:25, Michael. Let's text Jorge and
How
get
was
him
the
out of
pizza?
this.
No, we can say how was the pizza. That's what I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Is Brenda getting it for you?
Yeah,
Brenda's-
she's the one that wants to
You're gonna-
try it. She's like, we should try different
You're gonna
options.
like
Oh,
it.
she sounds like Lisa.
For what it's worth, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, because I think Trader Joe's has a cauliflower pizza crust, their pizza dough and like their pizza kit is great. It's really, really good. I use their dough a lot to make pizza at home. Like I've got a couple different pizza, like I've got like an indoor, essentially like an indoor pizza stone oven. It's fantastic.
Well, let me add this to the discussion. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Quit trying to reinvent pizza crust.
Don't
All
you
right.
like spinach on your pizza?
Spinach? No. What are you? Are you Popeye?
I'm with
what
you,
the
Michael.
hell?
Man, it's so good.
Michael and I need to go out for some pizza.
Exactly.
Let's get that new New
you
Yorker
guys
from
and your
Pizza
health.
Hut.
Pizza. Once you decide to have pizza, healthy goes out the window.
No, it tastes
Come
good.
on.
It actually
Yes, exactly.
It actually tastes
Yes.
good. The vegetables on it.
Oh, yeah.
What's next? Pizza flavored ice cream? Get out of here, Bergman. What do you
Ugh,
got?
That doesn't sound good at all.
What's up, fool?
All right, so I went to a different page. The Late Late Show with James Corden is no more, and in its place, another hour of Colbert. Well, Colbert produced show called At Midnight that he used to do on Comedy Central. I'm not sure if any of you remember it.
Not only do I remember it, a friend of mine produced that show.
Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
crazy.
My shout out to my friend Jack Martin, who worked on that show for 5 years. Chris Hardwick was the host, but as I understand it, Greg, he's not going to be part of this new show. Hardwick?
No, it doesn't look like. I'm not sure
Yeah.
who the new host is going to be though. So the Late Late Show will no longer exist. Are you sad about the end of the Late Late Show, just as in general the Late Late Show, or happy with more Colbert produced shows?
I am not sad with the end of the Late Late Show. I think I probably watched it twice the whole time it was on. I guess the legacy of the Late Late Show will be Carpool Karaoke, right? He kind of turned that into a huge franchise.
I guess I don't particularly like James Corden, so I'm
Right.
not
Well,
going
and
to
as it turns out, I guess Corden's kind of a bad guy too. Yeah, but he had that whole thing where he was
Right.
yelling at waiters and waitresses and stuff. So, At Midnight when Hardwick hosted
it was fun.
Was pretty good.
It was a fun show.
And they should call my friend Jack Martin and get him to produce that, and that show will be a success. Michael, did you ever watch James Corden? Did you ever see him?
No, I never watched these late night shows since they went political. I like the Johnny Carson, Jay Leno style where it's apolitical, just make fun of everybody and just laugh. If I wanted to watch political commentary, that's what you got.
Well,
Fox
Colbert
or MSNBC
is
for.
political, so if he's producing it, this new show is probably not for you.
By the way, Chris Hardwick is fantastic in everything that he does. He used to do a Talking Dead after The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic.
And he did the same thing with Better Call Saul.
Oh, did he also?
Did a post Better Call Saul.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. Great at those. Very talented. He had a game show, too.
He had some off-the-air situation that affected whether or not he could get good jobs going. I don't know how it worked out. My friend Jack says great things about him, so hopefully he gets another opportunity to do something.
Do not know.
What's up, fool?
All right, so Derek Carr is seeking a trade, and if the Raiders can make it work, it would benefit them. The asking price may be a bit high for a guy that is basically going to be released anyway, but their asking price is a 1 third-round pick. Carr's at the Saints facility again today. This is the second time he's been there, so maybe that could happen.
All right, I need you to explain something to me about this story.
Okay.
The way I understood this is the Raiders have to make a decision by the 14th, which is in 5 days,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Why would the Saints give up any draft compensation when they can just wait for the Raiders to release Carr? Because they won't keep him because they would have to pay him. They're going to release him in 5 days. Why wouldn't the Saints just wait for that and then sign him?
Well, that's the thing. The Saints are the only team that the Raiders could possibly get to trade him if it's going to happen. Because if it doesn't work out, he can sign anywhere.
Right, but why? What you see what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Why give up a third-round pick when you don't have to give up anything?
Well, I mean,
because you really want him and you're worried he'll go somewhere else.
Exactly.
That's the reason.
It's kind of. So that's basically what the question was going to be. You're answering it.
Third-round pick is, I don't really care. I mean, in
the NFL, a third-round pick
Brock
has
Purdy
some
was
value.
a 6th-round pick.
Well, Cooper Kupp was a third-round pick. I mean,
Brock Purdy
it
was
has
a 7th
some
round
value,
Mr.
Andy, but as you and I have argued for years over this draft stuff, it is literally a coin flip if you're going to hit the pick or not. So, Greg, going back to your original question, if that's all it's going to cost me, third-round pick.
1 third-round pick.
And I get Derek Carr, and to Andy's point, I then have him under contract and he can't walk, yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah. You guys too?
By the way, did you guys see Derek Carr in the Pro Bowl competition? You see him, Michael?
Why?
He was stunning.
Oh, please, I'm playing flag football.
No, this was not flag football.
was it?
This was a skills competition in which a truck is driving across the field with a bullseye on it, and Carr is whipping the ball 40 yards and hitting the bullseye.
Oh, whoop-de-freaking do. So I guess if there's a truck in the secondary, you won't miss.
Well, this is what he said after
that
it.
mean?
Hold on, listen to this.
Derek, you've thrown touchdown passes in Vegas before. You've been on fire. Have you ever been that hot in Las Vegas?
Not that hot. It's probably why I'm going somewhere else.
That's funny.
That's Michael's point. Yeah,
Exactly.
right there.
Jeez.
All right, Berger,
Good
you
for
got
him for
another
having a
one?
sense of humor, though.
I have one more.
Yeah, do one more.
What's up, fool?
I have one more that basically I've had on my paper for about 3 weeks now.
Okay,
So I'm just going
let's
to throw
have
it out
it.
here and see how it goes. Jaren Jackson Jr. is always in at least the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, but never quite gets there. Apparently, the Memphis scorekeeper may have been cooking the books over this last year. So Jackson is logging twice as many steals and blocks at home than in away games. The NBA has denied any wrongdoing, and they're always on the up and up. But if there was some type of scandal, and if it was real, what should the punishment be, and does any of it fall on Jackson Jr.?
Well, the score should be fired, and they should be a heavy fine.
Yeah, you can't be
doing
it.
that.
And by the way, guys get paid on these
Right.
stats.
Yeah.
Like if you make first, second, or third All NBA, your potential contract value goes up. So you can't be messing around. Like I know the guys at Staples Center. I know everybody in the score crew. They take those jobs really seriously, and they would never do that. So if it's happening, and Greg, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole to see how obvious or not obvious it is.
It came out like 3 weeks
I've heard
ago.
some people talking about this, and there's been a lot of debunking of it. Like, there's actually a conspiracy theory that this was cooked, like the rumor was actually begun by somebody with the Grizzlies to get people to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr.
Pretty brilliant if that's what happened.
Right. And
Yeah, but not in a good light.
Well, no, but once you debunk it,
Oh.
you start realizing just how great Jaren Jackson Jr. is, and you don't even need to cook the books.
The guy that has my job for the Grizzlies is Eric Hasseltine. He's a really good dude, and I'll find out what's going on. I'll find out if there's anything to that.
To Greg's other question, unless Jaren Jackson Jr. was in on it, you can't punish him. He didn't do
not
anything.
him. No, it's not his fault.
You didn't do.
Who's that? Is that Pepe?
Pepe Mantilla has made it. He is in the building.
Pepe has arrived for his game of games. He will be along shortly.
So he's going to be the Spanish Alex Trebek. How do you say Alex in Spanish?
Alejandro
Trebek.
Alejandro Trebek. Pepe Mantilla will be. We'll get Pepe in here. We'll kick around some of this stuff with him too. Mason in Ireland. Michael's hanging out. Andy's in for Mace. Coming up next, Michael just said about a story. That guy should be fired and they should have to pay a fine. I have a story about a coach, and I want you guys to tell me if this coach should be fired. That's next. ESPN LA.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
You need a lot of stuff.
I know.
You need a lot of checking under the hood.
I need a full tune-up is what I think I need.
Yeah. Maybe a new engine at some point.
Sedano and Cap. Today at 4 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Oh yeah, it's Globetrotter game time. Get ready for the Harlem Globetrotters 2023 World Tour. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. All new, non-stop action.
Radio station.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason in Ireland is on for your Thursday afternoon.
I was looking to party.
NBA trade deadline is now in the books, and the Lakers made moves today. We will bring you the latest, and by the way, the Clippers made moves too. All that went down as the NBA trade deadline came. Plus, Mason is off today. Andy Kamenetsky's here. Only about 16 hours ago, he was wrapping up our commercial-free Wednesday. Hopefully, AK got some rest. Let's get to it. Mason in Ireland, your Thursday afternoon right now.
Mason and Ireland. No Mace today. Andy Kamenetsky is in. Michael Thompson's hanging out. And we welcome to the show our friend Pepe Mantilla, the Spanish voice of Lakers radio.
Stand up and wave.
Yeah, now Pepe is now doing his wave. If you're watching on YouTube, this is what he does at every home game, and Michael and I mock him for it because no one ever waves back.
Exactly.
But
Not even his
Pepe,
girlfriend.
you say what?
that you guys don't like what I do because I am the only one that is doing it, and you guys didn't have the idea of doing it, so that's why you don't like it. But a lot of people way back at me.
Okay, Michael. Tonight our goal is to find one person who is waving
You always
back.
say that. You always say that.
He's seeing illusions.
All right, so I'm glad you're at Pepe, because the big story today is the NBA trade deadline, and the Lakers made 3 trades. Pepe, I was saying, I think, and you and I have been doing this a long time, I think it's the most active trade deadline the Lakers have ever had. Can you think of a more active one?
No, not at all. I mean, it was kind of crazy just to keep track of what's going on. And,
we got 5 new guys coming in.
Even throughout the whole NBA, Pepe, it was a crazy day.
Yeah.
That's why LeBron needed to break the record Tuesday night, so we wanted to share all this headlines with all this stuff going on.
You said the contrary.
What did I say?
You said it'd be better for LeBron to do it on Thursday because that way LeBron will have the attention of. You said it, Mike.
I know he was pretty married to Tuesday. I thought it would be Thursday. That may have been me.
It's on record.
Oh, okay. It's on record.
It's on record.
All right, so let's talk about these trades, Andy. The first one, the one that you guys covered pretty much in depth last night, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley coming to the Lakers. What do those 3 guys bring to the team?
They bring a lot of things that this team needed. They bring outside shooting in D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley, both in terms of the ability to hit those shots, but they also take a lot of them. Like D'Angelo Russell averaged, I think, about 7 this year, 7 threes attempted. Malik Beasley over the last 3 years has averaged 8-ish per game. They need more guys making threes, but also taking threes. It'll open up this offense a lot. In Jared Vanderbilt, they've got an energy defense-first player. He's got some versatility there. He can guard, I would say, 3 through 5 as a possibility. Those are all areas that the Lakers have been really weak. And then D'Angelo, on top of it, he's a legit third option on this team. He can make plays, although he doesn't need the ball in his hand constantly. And he may not be a perfect fit alongside LeBron and AD because you would want that guy to be a better defender, and D'Angelo Russell is not a great defender, but he is a much, much better imperfect fit with LeBron and AD than Russ was.
Do you guys think, now that Patrick Beverley's been traded, that was one of the 3 trades, Patrick Beverley to Orlando for Mo Bamba, Michael, does Schroeder stay at the point and D'Angelo plays the 2 guard? Do they share the point? How do you think the work gets allocated?
Yeah, that'll probably be the starting backcourt, Pepe, Schroeder and D'Angelo. What do you think?
I think Schroeder will be at the point and D'Angelo will be a shooting guard. He's really good. He's not a good defender, like you said. But you know what I like? I like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is good. Is a good rebounder, and he's a good defender.
He's good on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
The other trade, and this is the one that is the hardest one for me to process, Pepe, was Thomas Bryant to Denver for Devon Reed and 3 second-round picks. We learned after the trade that Thomas asked to be traded. He went to the Lakers and said, I want out. I just hate to see him go because I loved him when he was in there. What do you think of the Bryant trade?
Well, I agree with you, and I hate to say this, but I agree with Mike too. Because if the
once the guy wants out, you're okay with letting him out.
If the guy wants out, I mean, if you go to our bosses for the Lakers or whatever, and you said, I don't want to be here, how long do you think you're going to be sitting?
Yeah, but I'm not 7 feet tall and grabbing rebounds and scoring 31 points. Yeah,
but it's still, you know,
make that call, John.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other trade, Patrick Beverley to Orlando for Mo Bamba, and Michael, you like that deal?
I like Mo Bamba, Pepe. He's got a lot of skills. He can protect the rim. He can shoot. People in Orlando just didn't give him a chance to develop, or maybe it's part of his fault too. But I don't understand that you have a big guy with those skills, and by year 4, he's still ain't in the rotation. It's just a mystery to me.
I like that trade too, John.
Yeah, you like Mo Bamba?
I think
a lot of people do.
He's going to do good, and besides, you know, when we play against Philadelphia,
right?
He's not going to take any bull from anybody.
Yeah, that's true. The biggest trade that went down is Phoenix sending Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 first-round picks, plus a 28-pick swap for Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. I personally think, Pepe, this makes Phoenix the favorite to come out of the West and maybe the favorite to win the whole thing. I think that highly of Durant. Am I overrating Phoenix?
No, on paper, they're supposed to win the whole enchilada, but how many times we've seen something like that and it doesn't go true?
In Brooklyn.
It doesn't go true, yeah.
Michael, what do you think? Would you pick Phoenix if you had to pick one team to win it all now?
Right now they're the favorites. Kevin Durant fits in anywhere he goes, makes the team better wherever he goes. When he's healthy, he's the most unstoppable player in the game. So, if they stay healthy, they've got a great starting five. Their bench just contribute just a little bit. Yeah, they're the team to beat now.
And, Andy, then Crowder was moved on to Milwaukee?
Yeah.
And we're going to see Milwaukee tonight. I don't know if Crowder will be here. If I made you pick a team to come out of the East, first of all, do you agree with us that Phoenix is coming out of the West now?
I'm not ready to give up on Denver yet. They've been so good all year, and Jokic is such a difficult guy to stop. There's really nobody in the league who's really quite there. Maybe Embiid, as far as matching up against.
AD plays well against him if they both
Embiid
play.
kills him.
Yeah.
Embiid, you see what Embiid did to him last week?
But
and AD plays well against him.
Right, but that would be a finals thing. That wouldn't be a West thing. Jokic is a really specifically difficult guy to slow down.
Special.
And Denver's been the best team in the West all year.
All right, if I had to pick a team to come out of the East, I would pick the team that's here tonight, Milwaukee. How about you guys? Andy?
Probably. Assuming Chris Middleton stays healthy, Milwaukee.
They're bringing him off the bench now, Pepe. Would you pick Milwaukee or somebody else? Boston's good. Philadelphia's good. You never count Pat Riley out down in Miami. There's some other good teams.
I'm ready to count that out.
I think
maybe.
I think Milwaukee is my choice.
Yeah.
Come on, Pepe, a little bit more energy. Yell like you've been yelling at me all year. Jeez, you sound like you're falling asleep. I'm taking a siesta over there, Pepe.
Well, the part of yelling, it takes a lot out of him to yell at you every day.
I'm saving my energy.
For the night?
For later.
For a game of games.
Oh, for Game of Games.
All right, so we'll continue to cover the trade deadline, but I wanted to ask you guys about something that happened in high school basketball. All right? So this was Tuesday night in Oklahoma. A team called Weatherford took on a team called Anadarko in a boys' high school basketball game. Weatherford is ranked number 3 in Oklahoma's Class 4A ranking, so they're a good team. They scored first. They went up 2-0, which stood until halftime. The score at halftime was 2-0.
I'd love to watch that game.
In the second half, they went on a scoring spree. Weatherford knocked down another jumper to go up 4-0. Anadarko stole the ball, was able to cut the score to 4-2, and that's how the game ended.
That's great.
4-2. So, Michael, here's my question. Should these two coaches be fired?
No, man. Some kids
4-2?
Yeah, but they probably don't have talented players. Then let the kids
one
play.
of them is the number 3 ranked team in the state.
Really?
What?
Did you hear that part?
What state?
Oklahoma.
State of confusion? That can't be right. The number 3 ranked team in Oklahoma, and they got 4 points.
They won 4-2.
That is weird. Pepe, how'd that happen?
My grandson is 6 years old, and that's the score when he plays basketball.
Well, 6 years old, it's okay. This is a high school basketball.
Andy,
you fire the coach or just let him play?
I'm telling you right now, I think Thibodeau's going to leave the Knicks to coach that team.
Yeah.
That's the type of team he wants to play for. You allow 2 points, you score 4, you win the game.
Do they have a shot clock?
That's all you need.
I would assume.
I know. How's that even possible?
Are you sure that's right?
Yeah,
that can't be.
No, it's a whole. I've got a whole story on the whole game. Here, somebody said, if for some reason you're going to watch this snooze fest of a high school game, here's the game tape. Fast forward to the 1 hour, 46-minute mark.
Exactly.
There are just no highlights.
Oh, apparently there's no shot clock in high school basketball. Like, it's not mandatory.
Well, there must not have been here.
Right.
Just like, do you think Dean Smith 4 corners the whole time?
Something must have happened there. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I'm reading an article right now at Yahoo, and they opened the article by saying it's long overdue for shot clocks to be mandatory in all high school basketball games.
Maybe they were just holding the ball or something, the other team.
Hey, by the way, Pepe, you've called a lot of NBA finals. You've called Laker games for how many years now?
30.
30 years. Where did what you did on Tuesday night rank with all the big moments that you've called? Would that be right up there?
Of course, yeah, of course. That and Kobe scoring 81 points.
Yeah, Kobe's final game.
Kobe's last game, and Robert Horry scoring the three-pointer.
Sure.
But for the individual performance, that's the greatest moment in NBA history on Tuesday night because he set a new record.
Yeah, do you guys? Andy, I haven't asked you this yet. Do you think the person that breaks LeBron's all-time scoring record is in the league now?
There's only one guy who has a chance, but he's got to totally change his life to do it. Luka.
I was just going to say,
you
must be talking about Luka.
He's got to get in shape if he wants to play till he's 40. Because he plays on the ground anyway. He doesn't play athletically like LeBron, but
which would help.
Which helps him.
Yeah.
But he's 23 Pepe. He's scoring 30 points a game, 28 a game. And if he wanted to play another 18 years, he might have a shot at it.
What about the guy we're going to see tonight, Giannis?
No, he doesn't score enough.
He's averaged 30 points a game like LeBron does.
But remember early on he didn't score as many.
Right.
Like, it took Giannis 3 or 4 years to really become Giannis.
Right. And the way he plays, man, he plays recklessly with throwing his body around. So I can't see him doing what he does at 38.
Pepe, go ahead.
I think Luka might do it, but he has to change. And then also everybody knows that Luka cannot defend anybody.
No, he's not playing defense.
Well, so he's not wasting any energy.
Exactly.
He means he would save it
Yeah,
for
but
the
I mean, you
offensive
can
end.
get 5 fouls on him right away.
Right.
No,
he
I
has
don't
to
even
defend
know.
you.
I don't even know if
He's
he'll
not
bother
guarding
to
anybody.
foul you. I think he might just let it go. I mean, but Luka's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, last night the Mavericks beat the Clippers without Luka. Kyrie. So maybe Dallas is going to figure into this thing.
Yeah.
But okay, hold on to this. I'm going to ask you this question when we come back. Lakers are bringing in 5 new players. They're sending out 5 guys, so half the roster is going to be different. Where are the Lakers going to be mid-April when the regular season ends? We'll get into that next. Mason in Ireland, Andy, Pepe Mantilla, Michael Thompson all hanging out, ESPN LA.
Every 60 seconds, there are...
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're in the 909. You can see it right here. Food, beer, fandom here at Yamavan. I'm going to tell you this, that on the day of the big game, right here in the 909, for every touchdown scored, we're giving away $1,000. They should never have done this with me, because I'm like, yo, now I want to give away a whole bunch of your money. $1,000 per touchdown on the day of the big game. We'll see you here at the 909 out here at Yamavan.
Voltea hacia arriba para ver si va LeBron. Aquí se puede escribir la historia.
En este avance, LeBron tiene la pelota. Vamos a ver. El público le pide. LeBron hacia atrás. El tiro canasta. Se rompe. Se rompe, señoras y señores. El récord. Hoy es un día histórico. Estamos siendo testigos de la hazaña inmemorable que queda como legado en este deporte y donde el protagonista es el rey actual del básquetbol, LeBron James, que con letras doradas pone su nombre en el firmamento. Con letras doradas, repito, al conseguir romper un récord que se miraba imposible de superar. Y ustedes, familia, también son testigos gracias a KW 1330, AM Tuligan Radio, por ser la plataforma oficial de nuestras transmisiones exclusivas de nuestros Ángeles Lakers. Ha muerto el rey. ¡Viva el rey de las estadísticas! ¡Por siempre, LeBron James!
Y hemos sido testigos de la historia, amigos. LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James. Y el público coreando su nombre. Y enseguida se voltea y llama a su familia, sus hijos, su esposa. Ahí están, celebrando junto con él. Todas las cámaras están enfocando a LeBron. Ahí está.
All right, that was the Spanish language call of LeBron's record-breaking basket. That second voice you heard was Pepe Montilla, who is sitting next to me. He's going to host Game of Games today. And the play-by-play there was done by Samuel. I'm going to pronounce Sam's name right. Is it Jacobo?
Jacobo.
Samuel
Jacobo.
Okay. So what's your favorite part about that call?
It's just the emotion, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you cannot think of what you're gonna do if it happens. You know,
Yeah.
People are bringing the vibe to
The
you
energy.
and to me,
Yeah.
the energy, and we're all expecting and we're all waiting, and it's just, I mean, like you look everywhere and everybody's going crazy. You know, it's amazing.
All right.
People, but you hear the voice of Pepe Mantilla. If you want to put a face to the voice, just Google Artie Moreno, the Angels owner. They are
I think,
separated.
Pepe, I think you're better looking than Artie
They are
Moreno.
separated at birth. Am I right, Jorge? They are separated at birth.
You would never
comment.
trade for Vernon
Are you
Wells.
kidding me? He says when he goes to Angels games, all the fans come up to him and say, Artie, sell the team.
Oh, wow. That's not good. But people do say that to Artie.
That's right.
Andy, after these trades today, these 5 guys get in here. They assimilate them into the team. We play the remaining 30 games.
There's only 26. I mean, there's only
Right.
27. There'll be 26 once you get everybody.
Right. All right. So we play the remaining 26 games. Where are the Lakers in the standings when the regular season ends?
At least 10th. I think they're going to be able to get themselves into the play-in mix at minimum. I got to actually see a little bit more to figure out if they can make that type of jump into the actual playoff, because they got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time, but they're going to be better.
Bergman, where are they at the end of the regular season?
At the end of the regular, I think that they're going to be in the right around the 7th seed. I think they're going to move up, and I think they're going to have over these next 30 games or whatever it is, they're going to go 20-10.
Well, that's what they say they have to do.
And I think that's
Michael, I'm going to dream big. I'm going to say they get to the 6, and that way they avoid the play-in tournament. But I'm probably thinking with my heart and not my head. What do you think?
Well, there are 4.5 games out of 6 right now. As we stand today, they are only 2 games out of 7, so they can get to the 7th seed.
Pepe, where are they at?
I agree with you, and I just...
You always agree with him, not me.
No,
well,
because I'm sane, you know, that's why. You know why? Because I always think that the Lakers are going to win, and I think they're going to be in the... Like with you, like you think with your heart. It's the same thing for me. But then one thing, they have to play defense, because if they don't play defense, I mean, we're not going anywhere.
So what do you think that is, Pepe? Why don't they play a better defensive team? Oklahoma City the other night played great team defense. What's wrong with the Lakers? Why can't they do it?
Because they're lazy, I guess. They don't do the rotations. I mean, what can I tell you? I mean, they don't cover the baseline. I mean, nobody's. I mean, really, against Oklahoma City, we saw that, but I kind of understand what happened. You know,
the most frustrating thing about the Lakers defensively to me, Andy, is the fact that they put great importance on protecting the rim, but don't run out on three-point shooters. And the league is so good now that basically teams are making 40% of their wide open threes. and the Lakers don't get out to the shooters quick enough.
They've been really oddly flat defensively ever since AD's come back. And you would think it would be the opposite. Like AD would be the one juicing their defense back to the way it had been before he got hurt. And I don't know if there's like a sense of security having AD back there, or if they just spent themselves with that period of trying to stay afloat without him. But, I mean, it's part of the reason why I think all these trades were really good for the Lakers. They needed to change the energy. Like, the energy was just starting to fall with that group.
And Pepe, something wasn't right. It wasn't working. And I think it would have been silly for them to just stand pat and roll the dice at the trade deadline and said, maybe these guys will figure it out. I'm glad they blew up the team. I really am.
Well, I think it's for the best. And the one thing that Chick Hearn, my mentor, and your mentor, too,
sure, the greatest of all time,
told me once he used to get really upset when the players didn't rotate and went to the wings with their hands up.
Right.
Because he said, why do you ever go there? I mean, nothing is going to happen, but if you put your hands on the air, at least the guy is not going to see where the ball is going.
Right. There's no reason to have your hands down.
Chances are that he's going to miss, And he used to be really upset, and he used to tell me those things that, among other things that I learned from him.
Michael, the Suns right now are tied. They're in a 3-way tie for the 4 seed with Dallas and the Clippers.
Yep.
They are 4 games out of the 2 and 8.5 games out of the 1. 8.5 behind Denver. Where's Phoenix when the regular season ends?
I'd say no higher than 2. They won't catch Denver unless Denver completely collapses, but they could be the 2 seed.
Andy, what do you think? Here's the order: Denver, Memphis, 4.5 back; Sacramento, 6.5 back, and then the logjam: Mavs, Suns, Clippers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors, Blazers, Jazz, all within 3 games.
This is, by the way, a side note, the weirdest year
ever.
Like that, the Lakers are actually still in a place where you can talk about them trying to get into the playoffs. They have not been 500 this entire season. Just like the West is cooperating remarkably well. As far as Phoenix, how high can they get up? I think they're going to get up to 3. I think Memphis is good enough to hold them off, but
I think Sacramento and Dallas will drop a little bit. I think Phoenix is going to be the 3.
Yep.
And then, if I'm right, Pepe, and the Lakers get to the 6, that's who they would play in the first round, which is a horror. I don't want to play Phoenix in the first round, but I would take the 6.
I think they might get to be the number 2.
They'll make up the 4 games they're behind Memphis.
Yeah, because Memphis is good, but I think Phoenix is better with the experience that they have and all that. I mean, Memphis has a good team and has a good coach, but I think they lack experience.
Well, they need to settle down. Memphis has become a little too unstable. Like they're too into talking right now.
You think Memphis is unstable? Listen to what Brian Windhorst says about Phoenix, and this is a trip.
Oh, I know where you're going with this,
Michael. I don't think you've heard this yet. Listen to this.
The Lakers could absolutely 100% probably make a deal with Russell Westbrook between now and Thursday, but that deal may only incrementally make them better and potentially cost them the draft picks or cost them the cap space that they have this summer. And what Rob Pelinka has got to decide is moving the ball on this team that's in 13th place a few yards ahead and giving them maybe a 5% or 10% chance more of getting into the playoffs or getting into the second round of the playoffs is worth blowing up the opportunity in the summer. Because, by the way, the Kyrie story with the Lakers ain't over. They can sign him this summer. They don't have max cap space now, but they've got a lot of it if they just keep Russ and say goodbye in July. They can still do that. And so and here's LeBron going, whatever we do is fine. I mean, I know he really wants help, but he's also saying publicly to Mike Wilbon in front of millions of people, he knows you're going to see that interview within minutes because we turned that sucker around from Malika's show and said, let's get this on right now, the top of the show. He knew that, and he gave the Lakers a pass. He goes, it's no big deal. We're going to be fine. So my question for the Lakers, what's next is, do they do something with Russ to get him off the roster, even if it's just to minorly upgrade their team and maybe take on players that ruin their cap space or do they just ride this out, Stephen A? That to me is one of the biggest questions between now and Thursday.
All right, so this wasn't the exact clip I was looking for. He was saying that Kyrie is looking at Phoenix at the end of the year. But I want to talk about the things that he said about the Lakers, Andy. I think that's one thing they successfully navigated is they didn't bring on anybody that is necessarily going to kill their cap space. Is it Bamba that has a player option?
No, it's Malik Beasley has a team option. And
so you can get rid of him if you want to.
Both Bamba and Vanderbilt have small guarantees in terms of next year's salary. D'Angelo Russell's a free agent. Rui Hachimura's a free agent.
Yeah, they didn't kill their cap space with these moves.
That being said, I sincerely hope their plan is not waiting around, like leaving themselves to the whims of Kyrie Irving. Like that, I mean, forget whether or not you want him on your team or not. A plan that is predicated on predicting 5 months in advance what that guy is going to do, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Michael, you and I still think Kyrie's going to impact somebody in a really favorable way.
Well, yeah, it might be Dallas the way he looked the other night.
Last night he was at Crypto last night and helped lead the Mavericks win. Okay, Pepe's Game of Games is 15 minutes away. He has never hosted Game of Games before. He's played a lot and he's won a lot, but you've never been the host. How are you feeling about this?
How do you guys feeling about this?
Well, you know me. Bring it on.
It's not gonna be easy. I mean, for especially for Mike. Okay,
Yeah.
for you guys, brilliant minds. It's going to be interesting.
You're worried about Michael?
Mike is going to have a... But you know what? This is a game of chances.
Yes.
And even Mike will have a chance to win.
Is it in Spanish or English?
It's in English.
All right, just making
What do
sure.
you mean is it in
He
Spanish
might
or
wait
English?
for Jorge to win it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Coming up next, I have a list of the most anticipated movies that are coming out over the next few months. I'm just going to ask you if you're in or out. Pepe loves movies. Andy loves movies. A lot of movie lovers around here.
This is better than Top Gun.
Top Gun was great.
It was
I don't
really
know
good.
what you're talking about.
I liked it.
We'll tell you all the good movies that are coming out, and then Game of Games after that. ESPN LA.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Who is the most famous person in your contact list?
I know everyone thinks I'm going to say Keyshawn. And he's pretty famous, right? But I think it's Bob Costas. Bob and I worked together years ago.
I've been doing this a really long time, so I have a bunch of people in O'Shea.
Can you FaceTime him?
FaceTime one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know I got your back, bro.
There he is. There he is.
Michael Caine. The actor Michael Caine.
Can you FaceTime him?
Right now?
Yes.
Hell no. He's somewhere in England, hasn't made a movie in 20 years. No.
Is comedian Bill Engvall.
Can you FaceTime him? Right now?
Try.
Bill,
What a surprise.
how are you?
I'm good. What are you doing?
James Worthy, I think, is the most famous person in my contact list. And if I tried calling James Worthy, there's a 1,000% chance he would not answer.
James Worthy. You know who's not in the Hall of Fame, who should be, who's in this phone? Steve Mason and John Ireland. They need to be in the Radio Hall of Fame. I mean, I guess maybe Jay-Z, maybe. Wrong. I mean, I don't know if he's that. Yeah, I guess maybe Wrong. Jay-Z.
Ball, he's pretty famous. Charles Barkley. JB Smoove. Kyrie Irving, he's definitely changed his phone number since his Cleveland days.
Oh, that's easy. It's Magic Johnson. But the problem is he keeps changing his phone number on me.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're in the 909. You can see it right here. Food, beer, fandom here at Yamavan. I'm going to tell you this, that on the day of the big game, right here in the 909, for every touchdown scored, we're giving away $1,000. They should never have done this with me, because I'm like, yo, now I want to give away a whole bunch of your money. $1,000 per touchdown on the day of the big game. We'll see you here at the 909 out here at Yamavan.
now.
Oh, that's a great this fact about Pepe.
Andy and I both love Prince, so we thought it would be appropriate to play a little Prince before we left the show. Hey, by a reminder tomorrow, Andy, you'll be here with Momo.
Yup.
Michael and I are flying to Golden State. Mason's off again. Listen all day tomorrow to win the lie of the day. You can call 877-710-ESPN. This is tomorrow. Don't call now. The first person to identify the lie of the day will win 2 passes to walk inside the ropes at the Riviera Country Club on Friday, February 17th. The Riv, be there as the PGA Tour returns to LA February 16th through the 19th. That's for the Genesis Invitational. Get your tickets at genesisinvitational.com.
Beautiful course. That 10th hole is amazing.
Pepe, you just told me something I did not know. You did every one of Kobe Bryant's games. You're the only Bryant. I didn't. I came along in the middle of his run. Michael didn't.
Stu didn't.
You are the only one who did every one of Kobe's games, and you say that includes All-Star games, right?
And the Olympics.
As a color commentator, and when I was working for DirecTV, I did it as a play-by-play.
Mhm.
So I was lucky enough to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So for
Incredibly
me,
cool.
For me, Kobe is just, and besides, Kobe was a different kind
That's
of person.
Kobe's on your Mount Rushmore of the 4 guys, the 4 faces of the NBA.
I'll tell you a story really quick. A few days before he passed, he came to the arena, and it just happened to be waiting for the elevator. I came off the press room, and here he was coming with his daughter,
Gigi.
and he said, "Hola, amigo," and he went on the elevator with me. He said, "Hey, this is my daughter." Da, da, da. How many players do that?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, one of a kind for sure. Okay, so I mentioned to you guys that there are a ton of movies about coming out, and starting with this one's coming out tomorrow. I'm going to throw a few movies at you. Just tell me if you're in or out, okay? This comes out tomorrow. Magic Mike's Last Dance. Once upon a time, Channing Tatum was the Michael Jordan of male strippers. Then a business deal goes bad. He finds himself bartending at private parties to pay the rent. Lucky for him, he meets Max, played by Salma Hayek, who takes quite an interest in the former dancer. They head to London together to stage an exotic dance extravaganza. Not only is the original Magic Mike director Steven Soderbergh back behind the camera, he's also hinted the movie ends with a 30-minute musical number. Andy, Magic Mike's Last Dance, in or out?
Not going to lie, Salma Hayek, exotic dancer, is a selling point, but I've seen the first. First was good. I don't need any more of them.
Bergman, in or out on Magic Mike's Last Dance?
Yeah, it's going to be a no from me.
Jorge?
Oh, hell yeah. Big time. I'm so in on this one.
Pepe?
No.
Mike?
To quote Pepe, no.
I am with Jorge.
Yes.
Of course I am. 30-minute musical number at the end.
Why not?
Please.
I did have a catch you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Broadway John. I'm in for sure.
Yep.
All right. So 2 out of the 5 of us are on that one. All right. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, coming out on February 17th. Bergman, this is a Marvel movie, right?
Yes, it sure is.
Okay. Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly return as Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, a.k.a. Ant-Man and the Wasp, find themselves trapped in a secret universe beneath ours known as the Quantum Realm. It seems that the original Wasp, Michelle Pfeiffer, had some unfinished business, and let's just say some crazy interdimensional stuff is about to go down. Michael Douglas is in it, Catherine Newton, Bill Murray has a cameo. We'll also get our first look at Jonathan Majors' big deal supervillain, Kang the Conqueror. Andy, Ant-Man and the Wasp, in or out?
Absolutely in. Ant-Man's one of my favorite of the Marvel franchise series.
I'm going to see it opening night, or at midnight the night before, or 7. Whenever they can let me see it, I will see it.
Jorge?
No, hard pass.
Pepe?
I'll see it.
Michael?
I'll watch it, but I'll wait till it comes on Showtime.
I won't even watch it then. To quote,
That's not really in, Michael.
Michael, to quote Pepe, no.
You don't like those Marvel things, huh?
All right, February 24th. Cocaine Bear.
Oh, jeez.
Now, we've talked about this.
You said this is a true story.
True story. A huge black bear that was found dead in the woods of Georgia after a drunk running pilot accidentally dropped several kilos of cocaine out of his plane and the animal ingested all of it. And maybe, like us, you thought, well, what did the friendly bear do while he was high? Did he trade some of it for honey? Did he come up with some super great ideas? This movie, directed, Andy, by Elizabeth Banks, dares to answer that burning question. What if he went on a drug-fueled rampage?
Right.
The cast includes Kerry Russell, Matthew Rhys, Margot Martindale, as well as the last movie of the late, great Ray Liotta. Andy, in or out on Cocaine
First
Bear?
of all, you forgot O'Shea Jackson Jr. has a big role in Cocaine Bear
God
as well.
bless him.
There is not enough in to describe how in I am on Cocaine Bear. I cannot wait for Cocaine Bear.
Bergman?
100% with Andy. Absolutely, I'm seeing that. Cocaine Bear? Yes.
Drug-fueled rampage.
Yes.
Jorge, are you in or out?
To quote Pepe Mantilla, sí.
C. Pepe, Cocaine Bear, in or out?
I'll wait until it's HBO.
Michael?
You know, it sounds intriguing. Does the bear really like go nuts and
Yes.
wants to kill people? Or
Do
what?
I have to repeat the phrase again? Drug-fueled
Yeah,
rampage.
but does that mean he's hunting people and
Exactly.
destroying people? Really?
He's destroying
that happened
every
in real life?
He was. We don't know that the real Cocaine Bear died
from overdose or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Pay attention, Michael.
Well,
Come
I
on.
mean, yeah, I mean, it sounds
This is what would have happened if he went on a drug-fueled rampage.
Sounds intriguing to see how he was acting.
All I'm going to say is anything with the phrase drug-fueled rampage, I'm in.
You had me at Cocaine Bear. Like, that's all I need. I'm in.
All right, last one, March 3rd. So I've covered, for the next month, I've given you 4 movies, and this is the last one. Creed 3.
Oh, no.
Michael B. Jordan
I hate
plays Adonis Creed, son of Apollo. He also makes his directorial debut. Having escaped both the shadow of his father and trainer mentor Rocky Balboa, Adonis is finally ready, and in place of personnel, professional, and spiritual contentment, then an old friend from his past shows up and wants to show his former childhood pal that he has what it takes to be a championship boxer. What starts as a reunion turns into a rivalry that can only be settled, you guessed it, in the ring. Andy, Creed 3, in or out?
I'm in, but I fear I'm going to be disappointed. But I'm in.
Bergman, Creed 3.
I haven't seen 2 yet, so
2's good.
Eventually I'll be in, but not yet.
Jorge?
I haven't seen anything past Rocky, the first one, so no.
Pepe, Creed 3.
No.
Michael?
No, because if you like boxing like me and Pepe and Jorge like boxing, you cannot have these boxing scenes where guys are throwing haymakers from their heels, getting punched in the face, and they don't get killed.
Wait.
You can't have the boxing.
Not
the
only
boxing
can you
scenes
have
are
it,
so
you just
fake.
described all 6 of the original Rocky
Exactly.
movies.
That's why I'm out. So you know, at least make it realistic. You watch this fight.
please,
watch
it's a
every
movie.
video. I don't care. Got to make it at least realistic, Ireland. When they made let's say
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull, when they made things like Schindler's List, stuff like that, they make it realistic. These Creed and these Rocky movies are just too fake. If you're a
Wait, are
boxing
you
fan.
comparing Rocky to Schindler's List right now
I
for
think he just
reality?
did. And by the way, that's a first.
Right.
All right, I
God,
lied.
pay
I
attention,
have,
Michael.
I have one more. I lied. All right. Champions comes out on March 24th. An NBA coach, played by Woody Harrelson, gets fired, then arrested. His community service involves coaching a team of developmentally disabled adults. And if this screw-up can get him into the Special Olympics finals, he may have a shot at redemption. Keep in mind, however, that this reunites Harrelson and Kingpin co-director Bobby Fairley, which bodes well for all of us who liked Kingpin. Andy, Champions, featuring a fired NBA coach in Woody Harrelson.
Saw the trailer. Looks awful. I'm out.
Greg?
It sounds awful, but I like Woody Harrelson, so I'm in.
Jorge?
No, I'm out on this one.
Champions, Pepe?
Anything that the Fairley brothers do, I love.
Oh, there you go. You're in on the Fairley Brothers. What? Something About Mary, Michael? You ever see that one?
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, you in on Champions or out?
I mean, it's a nice story, good feel-good story, helping the special ed kids
Yeah.
or whatever. So I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll wait for till it comes out on HBO.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a bit. All right, coming up next, the much anticipated, first ever Pepe Mantilla hosted Game of Games.
Alejandro Trebek.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Fasten your seatbelts is right. We have no idea how this is going to go. My biggest fear is that Pepe has made the game so hard that no one will get a correct answer. But it's multiple choice, so we've got a shot. And it's next. Mason in Ireland, ESPN.
Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mason.
All right, no Mason today, but Andy Kamenetsky is here. Michael Thompson is here. Greg Bergman is here. Jorge Briones is here. I'm here. 5 players, and your host for the first time ever is our friend Pepe Mantilla. Pepe, I want to read it before you ask the first question. Read a tweet from Antoine Weatherspoon. This is going to be awesome. It can only go 2 ways. Pepe's game is either going to be one for the ages or go up in flames like it's re-entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Oh, my God.
All right, Pepe, what's the game today?
Well, I mentioned to you before, it's different topics.
Okay, it's a potpourri. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, potpourri. And, it's nice to be here with brilliant minds. And we have another brilliant mind.
Thank you, Pepe.
Sorry, Mike. I mean, really, sorry. I mean, this is a game of chances, though. Yeah, so you have a chance to win.
I think he was talking about me, not you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sedano walked in a show of solidarity for Pepe.
Yeah.
And so, George,
Los Hispanos together.
Yeah, you want to play?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Pepe, what's the first question?
Who's the only Mexican-born female actress to win a supporting award, actress award?
Okay.
You got to give us the choices.
Wait.
Let him talk, would you?
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Salma Hayek, Ana de Armas, or Lupita Nyong'o?
Okay, Jorge.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Greg.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Andy.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Mike.
I got to go with Jorge. Lupito.
Sedano.
It's actually Lupita, but yes.
I'm in agreement. Lupita Nyong'o won for 12 Years a Slave.
There you go.
Okay,
See?
everybody's on the board.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the next
Jorge
question?
Says.
How many Oscars did Anthony Quinn win?
Anthony Quinn. What's the choices?
Okay.
Easier than how many children did he have?
2, 3, or 4.
This one to you, Greg.
3.
Andy.
2.
Michael.
2.
Sedano.
2.
I'm also going with 2. Jorge.
I'm going with 2.
What's the answer, Pepe?
2.
All right.
All right. Who guessed 3?
I was
Somebody
the only
guessed
one
3.
that guessed 3 because I
Okay,
had
so
no clue.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I thought I would know if we
3
would've
is
had-
super rare.
All right, everybody's got 2 except Bergman. He's got 1. Pepe, what's next?
Okay. Well, Jack Nicholson is a fan of the Lakers, right?
Of course, biggest one ever.
Where was he born? In Jupiter City, Neptune City, or Union City?
All right, Jupiter City, Neptune City,
Or Union City.
or Union City. Andy, this one's you.
Jupiter City.
Michael.
Union.
Michael's from that neck of the woods, so I'm going to go with Michael. I'll say Union. Sedano.
Union.
Jorge.
Union.
Greg.
Union.
What's the answer?
Neptune.
Oh, wow.
Nobody got
wrong.
He's from New Jersey, right?
He's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's in New Jersey, Neptune?
I have no idea. I just
Yeah.
I knew it was from New
Nobody
Jersey.
got it. You didn't get it, right?
No.
No, we all got it wrong.
Yeah, we all got it wrong.
Google
okay.
it.
Google it.
Yeah.
All right, Pepe, what's next?
This is the hard one, okay?
Okay. That one wasn't hard?
Yeah.
Who was the director of Jack Nicholson's movie The Passenger? Michelangelo Antonioni, Federico Fellini, or Renzo Rossellini?
This one is you, Michael.
Rossellini.
I'm next. I'm going to say... What are the other 2 choices besides Rossellini?
Antonioni or Fellini or Rossellini?
I'll say Fellini. Sedano.
I'm going to go Fellini, too.
Jorge.
I'll go with the first one.
What's that?
Antonioni.
Okay, Greg.
I got the Fellini one.
You going Fellini? Andy.
The answer's Antonioni.
Antonioni?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody else guess that besides you?
No, him and Jorge.
All right, all right.
So they've got the
Andy
lead.
has the
I knew we were
lead,
gonna know.
and Jorge has the lead. So here's the standings: Jorge 3, Andy 3, Sedano, Michael 2 each, and Bergman has 1.
one.
Pepe, how many questions do you have left?
A whole bunch.
Oh, do you? Okay, then just keep going. Just keep going. Okay.
We got plenty of time anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
Keep
this
going.
is... Okay, we go to baseball now.
All right.
Okay,
I like
love
it.
it.
Oh, I got
There
a
we
chance.
I
go.
like it.
Get off that movie stuff.
Yeah.
Baseball for 200.
Who was the first Latino player to win a batting title in the MLB? Roberto Clemente, Tony Oliva, or Bobby Avila?
Sedano.
Roberto Clemente. Bobby
You
Avila.
better get this right, Mr. Cubano.
I'm going to say Clemente.
I'm gonna say Oliva. Jorge.
Who was the second one, Pepe?
Tony Oliva.
That one, yeah.
All right, so you're going Oliva as well.
Who's the
Bergman.
third? Who was the third one?
Bobby Avila.
Avila, not Oliva.
Okay, I'll go Avila.
Okay, Andy.
Avila.
Michael.
It's Oliva. He's from Cuba. You should know that.
All right, Pepe, what's the answer?
Bobby Avila.
There you go.
I got that.
See?
Wait, I got that one right.
Yeah,
You
guys
somebody
got it.
else
that.
did, right?
No,
Bergman
just
and
me.
Andy.
Just
Bergman.
Bergman.
You didn't get it, Andy?
No, he said Oliva. He said the other one.
Okay.
In 1954,
So Bergman is at
he
2
was
now.
born in Veracruz, Mexico.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
Andy and Jorge have
Still in the
3, and
lead,
everybody
yeah.
else has 2.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Pepe.
This you all should know. Okay.
Okay.
Who was on deck when Hank Aaron hit his 715 home run? Dusty Baker, Darrell Evans, or Davey Johnson?
I should know this.
Is he white or black?
You don't get to answer that.
I'm gonna say Dusty Baker. Jorge.
I'll go with the last one, the last name there. The third one.
Dave Johnson.
Davey Johnson. Bergman.
I think it's Dusty Baker.
Okay, Andy.
Dusty Baker.
Michael.
Baker.
Sedano.
Baker.
It is Baker.
Okay, so Sedano got that. Michael got that. Anybody didn't get
Everybody
that?
but Jorge.
Everybody but Jorge.
Oh, it was Jorge.
Okay, so
Oh.
you know what? The end result of that, everybody has 3.
Yeah.
Way to go,
6
Pepe.
players, 3 each. Good game.
Wait, Andy
Wait,
should
no,
have
Andy
4.
has
Andy
one
has
more.
4.
Andy has 4.
Okay.
I'm keeping track too. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Keeping track because I'm trying to do 2 things at
No,
once.
no complaining, remember, okay?
Yeah. No.
No, last
that's-
time I complained, I lost points.
Andy leads by 1.
Andy's got the
Everybody
lead.
else has 3. There we go.
Here it goes. Lakers and Warriors have the record for less points receiving a quarter. Only 2 points. The Lakers did it against Dallas. Who was the Dallas player that scored the 2 points?
Oh, good question. Who are the choices?
I'll give it to you right now. Sean Bradley, Derek Harper, or Michael Finley?
wow.
All right, Jorge.
Go Finley.
Greg.
I'm going to go Sean Bradley.
Andy.
A random time in Mavericks history.
Yeah.
What a time to have been alive.
90s. Mid-90s.
I'll go Finley.
Michael.
Harper.
I'm also going to go with Harper.
I'm going to go Bradley. Who is it?
I mentioned it to you before one day. Harper.
Derek Harper.
Are you you two?
Yeah.
Sedano
Okay.
and Michael, right?
So
Yeah.
now Michael and I are tied with Andy.
Yeah.
Cuban and the Bahamian.
Okay, let's do 3.
I saw Derek Harper yesterday, by the way, because
All right.
I was doing the Clipper Maps.
Former
game.
Laker.
All right,
Yeah.
let's
For
do
a second,
3
yes.
more,
He
Pepe.
was.
Pick your 3 best ones.
Okay. One of these MLB players that won the batting title and MLB did it without hitting a home run. Who is this player? Rod Carew, Julio Franco, or Tony Gwynn?
Oh, that's good.
That's tough.
Michael.
Carew.
Andy.
Carew.
Sedano.
Gwynn.
Jorge.
Franco.
Greg.
Carew.
God, this is a chance here. I think it is Carew.
It is Carew.
I took a swing.
Yep.
And
All right.
missed.
Michael got it. Andy's got 5. Michael's got 5. George and I have 4. Greg, you have 4 now,
I have
right?
4 now also, yeah.
Okay.
Michael
and Jorge has 3.
All right,
Yeah.
2 more.
All right, 2 more.
Somebody told me that you're very good in history.
Well, let's find out.
What emperor ruled from Rome the longest?
Ooh, I'm out.
Julius Caesar, Augustus, or Caligula?
Okay. Andy or Michael has to go first. Andy.
Repeat them one more time.
Julius Caesar, Augustus, or Caligula?
Augustus.
Okay, Michael.
Augustus.
Augustus.
Jorge.
Augustus.
Greg.
Yep, Augustus.
I think it is Augustus.
It is Augustus.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All
I
right.
was hoping you'd go another way.
So
5,
do we
6,
have?
He has one more. So Michael and I
Okay.
can tie.
Jorge's out.
Yeah.
Greg, you and I and
Michael.
Sedano are all in.
And Michael too, no?
No, Michael and Andy lead.
Oh, they lead.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we've got to go
We gotta-
opposite
yeah.
of what they do.
Yeah.
So
Pepe, last one, and then we need a
Oh, my
tiebreaker
God.
if it doesn't finish.
Okay.
Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, then Andy.
Say something about the Bahamas.
Who's the only coach in the NBA that was born in Mexico?
Oh, who are the
hold on.
answers?
Hold on. What are the? Yeah. What are the choices?
Tyronn Lue. What is the other? Let me see.
It's got so many papers here. You can't find.
Will Hardy or Joe Mazzulla?
Ooh.
Okay. The choices are again.
Tyronn Lue,
Okay.
Will Hardy,
Or
and
Joe
Joe
Mazzulla.
Mazzulla.
Okay. Michael, you first.
I think it's Missoula.
Okay. Andy.
I think it's a trick question, and I'm going with Ty Lue.
Okay. That means we have to go.
No,
with,
I don't have to because I know the answer.
All right. Well, but the only way you can win is to pick Will
I
Hardy.
know, but it's
Right.
fine.
All right,
I'm
go-
not. It's Ty Lue. He's right. He wins. It's Missouri. It's Mexico, Missouri.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Andy wins it.
That was a trick question.
It was Mexico. He said Mexico, not the country.
He said who's the only coach born in Mexico.
Yeah.
He was.
Pepe, excellent game.
Great job. Pepe.
Nice
Excellent
job,
game.
Pepe.
You didn't win,
Nice
Michael.
win, Andy.
That was a trick question that last
It's
one.
not. It's not a trick
He
question.
said the coach
No.
born in Mexico.
No, it's a totally honest question. Your game was excellent. Well done.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Pay
Andy,
attention,
congrats on your
Michael.
victory. All right, Pepe, before we let you get out of here, what happens tonight?
The Lakers.
Who's
The-
playing tonight is the question.
Maybe me and you.
That's a hard question, but I always think that the Lakers are going to win.
Yeah.
All right, Pepe, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and for
Gracias,
hanging
Pepe.
out with us. Game of Games is powered by Call Jacob. Winning matters. That's why after an accident, you got to go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Pepe, have a great call tonight. We'll see you at the game.
Thank you.
Jorge, hit the super stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk. Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for
Super Cross.
Oh my God! Pay attention, Michael.
All right, it is time for Super Crosstalk, and Scott Kaplan is here, and we start with a bit of controversy.
Controversy?
Yes. Yesterday when I was walking out of the show, I gave Cap
a tap. I saw
tap,
that.
like what I consider to be a love tap. Like,
I
hey,
thought
see
so.
you later.
I thought so.
And Cap, many people are upset with me. They felt I was overly aggressive and that I offended you in some way. What say you?
Could not be more wrong.
Well, your face said you were surprised at the very least.
No, I mean,
it may have been a little hard.
I don't remember what was going on.
I was
looking,
leaving, so I whacked him on the shoulder on my way out. I just said,
but
have a good show kind of thing.
But I'm a touchy-feely,
Me too.
bring it in kind of guy.
Yep, me too.
And so every time like we see each other, there's always like a weird little tapping kind of a thing. It was not as weird as when Sliwa tapped Trudell on the shoulder while Trudell was peeing at a urinal.
Yeah, that's awkward.
No, that's way worse. Yeah.
And urinals are in no contact zone.
Yeah. And Sliwa admitted to it after the fact.
And by the way, you never have to shake hands in a urinal.
Oh, no.
Like if you walk in, shaking hands is off the table. So if I walk in and Michael's
Just
in the
a hey.
urinal, I'll go, hey, Michael. I'll go, hey, Ireland. And
no
we'll go about our business.
And no glances left or right.
But John Ireland, here's the thing. Whether it's the Circle of Trust or the Mason and Ireland Mafia,
right?
These people, you people,
yeah,
are always trying to create a controversy out of everything.
It's as if Chris Morales has like 200 people working for him. It doesn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wait, is Pepe still there?
He is.
Yeah,
turn
he's
on
still
your,
here.
Put your headphones on, Pepe, and turn on his mic.
You
Go
hear
ahead,
us?
Cappy.
Yeah.
He can hear you.
Hey, Pepe, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Hola,
ahead.
¿cómo está, amigo?
Muy bien, amigo.
Okay. How's your stomach treating you?
Fine. How's yours?
Well, not so great today.
Oh my
What,
God!
did you guys share a stomach ailment or
Remember
something?
how you pulled off? We went to the hotel and disappeared for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That story.
Yeah, well, I think that's smart management by Cap, and he knows exactly where he's got to pull off.
Pepe, do you, like me, carry in the back of your car an extra 3-pack of underpants?
No, not yet. But it
Black underpants.
But it will happen. It will happen.
Pepe, right now on YouTube, I'm going to show everybody. I got a brand new 3-pack for you. They're right here.
Beautiful.
Okay? I got a 3-pack for Sedano also because I want him to put these in the back of his car. These are the best underpants I've ever had, and every grown man should have in the back of their car a 3-pack of black underpants.
Actually, it's the exact opposite. Every grown man should be able to not poop on themselves in the car.
That once you start doing that is the beginning of the end, Michael, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But Pepe, you have a hotel you pull off on the side of the road on the 405 too.
Let me tell you, whatever you say, all of you, okay, you're gonna get to an age where you're
right.
gonna think,
yeah, but Cap
Pepe and Cap were right.
But Cap is like 30 years younger than you.
but it doesn't make any difference. I mean, you guys, they don't understand Cap.
They don't.
They don't. Okay, just they don't. What are
But
you gonna?
Pepe,
What are you gonna do?
listen to this. So there's a little Mediterranean restaurant on Chapman Avenue in Orange County, and I was desperate. I was absolutely desperate, Pepe. I had to pull off and go to the bathroom, right? And so I walk into this little Mediterranean restaurant, and I walk in, and I'm like, hi, you guys, can I borrow your bathroom? And they're like, that's not cool. You know, like you're going to walk in and just use our bathroom. So I put in an order for like chicken shawarma, and then they gave me the key to go to the bathroom. Well, as it turns out, after using the bathroom, then I got the chicken shawarma. I got in my car.
And you had to go to the bathroom again.
Not exactly.
Oh.
Not exactly, but that's what you would think. But I proceeded north. Well, now, as it turns out, because they have a great bathroom, Pepe, now I stop there almost all the time to say, A, thank you for letting me use your bathroom, and B, let me get a little of that shawarma.
There you go. It was the beginning of a new lifestyle change for you.
Right. So sometimes you find a great bathroom, but you get the extra bonus of finding some good food there, too.
That's right.
What's chicken shawarma? What is that?
It's just a way that they cook like chicken thighs.
It's like shaved almost.
Yeah.
Say, Sedano, biggest surprise at the trade deadline to you was what?
That Wiseman got traded.
Yeah, no, they gave up on him.
Yeah. I thought
overall number 2 pick in the draft.
I thought
right?
that if they were going to eventually trade him, it would be in the offseason when they potentially could get more, but they basically traded him for spare parts, you know, like
How do you survive that?
Well, look, I think I'm a big believer of if you do think it's truly a mistake, then get off it as quickly as you can. So, I mean, I think that they gave it a shot. Look, I talked to Steve Kerr enough during these games that I've done with them over the last year and change, and he said this. He needs to play. This is a tough environment for him to get playing time.
Why didn't they play him?
Because when they did play him, Michael, it was a disaster. And they're trying to win games. It was a complete disaster. Okay? He was one of the most net negative players in the entire sport.
Is that more offense or defense? That he struggled.
His offense was totally fine. His offense was defensively. If you just watch him, he was lost out there defensively.
Michael, you don't know anything about basketball, by the way. Listen to my man, George.
Why don't you stop being a jerk face?
No, I'm serious.
Okay?
I'm defending you. I'm telling you.
No, you're being a patronizing a-hole is what
Michael,
you're being.
you don't know anything about basketball.
No.
Only
By the
listen
way, how
to
did
what
Maxi
George said.
Kleber do last
You're being
night?
a patronizing. How the Dallas Mavericks do really good on defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, Kleber. How many block shots did Kleber have?
He didn't play, you jerk face.
By the way, I'm totally stealing jerk face.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
right?
He uses it all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with you.
Did you hear that, Pepe? He said Maxi Kleber is as good a shot blocker as Alonzo
I
Mourning.
did not say that. I said that he's good at defending the rim because he only allows 58%, which is an elite number. It doesn't mean that he has to block them, Michael.
Pepe.
It means that he doesn't let people score. What do you not understand? Did they not teach arithmetic in the Bahamas?
Pepe, have you ever seen Maxi Kleber play defense?
I'm never going to go against my Latino brother.
Thank you.
Out of fear that he's going to yell at you.
Pepe's used to it. He grew up in a Latino household, unlike you.
That's right. I
Maybe
did
you
not.
should have. You'd be more in line.
This is Sedano's indoor voice.
All I know is this, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm with Sedano. You don't know jack squat about basketball, so please stop, please.
I'm learning, though, but I don't see Kleber ever play defense.
Well,
Ask Jason Kidd next time you talk to him.
please.
When was the last time you talked to Jason Kidd? 6 years ago?
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Sedano, all the five guys the Lakers are bringing in.
By the way, the funniest part of that Michael
Yeah.
said it was at least 6 years ago. Jason Kidd was here 3 years ago.
Right. and won a ring.
Yeah. Well, he was in the bubble. I didn't see him.
The
The bubble was perfect for you. You should have gone.
Any notable impact guys between D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba,
listen, they're all Mo Bamba the least of them, but I would say that
and Devon Reed, I think, would probably be the least.
yeah,
of them. He may
well,
not
that's
play.
true. I forgot.
Yeah.
He may not even be around. But what I would say is if this roster was the Lakers roster in October, I'd say they're a playoff team. They're a top 6 seed. But it's a lot to ask of these guys to form chemistry and say, we got to overtake to get to the 6th seed. Because here's the number. I did the math. They got to go at the very least, okay, if these teams just play to their averages. So,
Right.
for example, the Clippers right now, the 6th seed, they've won 53% of their games. If they win 53% of their games the rest of the way, which is another 13 wins, that's 44. For the Lakers to get there, they have to go at least, because they have to beat them by one game because they've already lost the season series.
Yep.
They have to go at least 20-7 to be the 6th seed. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
And tonight probably isn't going to help
But
that
Mike,
cause.
as you say,
it's
and
not.
you had to do it twice in your career, you say joining a team mid-season is not that hard,
No,
right?
not if you understand how to play the game. If you can't, it's smart.
So how do you do it?
Well, it's easy now, Pepe, because as you see watching these games, none of these teams have what is it?
They weren't any plays.
Yeah, they don't have all these kind of plays you got to worry about. It's all set a screen and shoot a three, so it's easy to adjust now.
Michael, it's so funny you say that,
I
though.
think defense is the problem.
Go ahead, Cap.
But, Michael, I heard you talking about this earlier, and it's something that I've always wondered about. When you're watching an NBA game and a coach has a huddle happening,
Yeah.
and he's got a whiteboard,
Yep.
and he's drawing up a play, I've always thought to myself, wait a second, they're making it up on the fly? That would
Exactly.
be like being in an NFL huddle and the quarterback in the dirt goes, okay, you go
Yeah,
here
but
and
they're
out.
not making it up on the fly.
I brought this up earlier with Ireland. I was comparing my era to today's coaches and the way they coach now, George. When Pat Riley would call a timeout, Pepe was there. We would sit down, Pepe, and he would sit down immediately with us and say, okay, let's run 5 out. Let's run a fist up. Let's run a 1 out. Let's run a two down or something like that. He didn't sit out there for 30, 40 seconds drawing up plays because we had all the plays in our heads what we needed to do. Now, you're right. Every coach does it. You'll see them out there with a whiteboard, and they're like drawing up plays.
Yeah, well, what ends up happening is, to your point, they take 30 seconds or 40 seconds to huddle with their coaches to figure out what play they want to run. The players know the plays for the most part. But
What plays? I don't see no plays.
There aren't as many. Out of timeouts, there are plays, okay? There's a reason they're called that people chart ATOs. But to your point, they're not as sophisticated, perhaps, as they were during your era. I will give you that 100%, no doubt. But there aren't enough plays where guys know, to your point, they've played basketball long enough to know what is being drawn up. It's not like, the Sandlot football where Gappy was alluding to, where the guy, nobody knows what they're doing and they're drawing it up in the sand. That's not it either.
Hey, let me ask you guys about the one trade I don't understand today, Andy. Why would the Clippers trade Luke Kennard?
Yeah.
He's a really good shooter. He's under a cost-controlled contract. He makes $16 million a year, and he can shoot he kills the Lakers every time we play him. Why trade him?
Pepe wants to answer.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. You were raising your hand.
He's waving to his
Bad
subjects
timing.
again.
He's practicing his wave.
I'm practicing my way.
They got Gordon, Highland, who both can shoot threes well.
Right.
Not like Kennard.
Yeah, Kennard's like
I understand, but
44%.
I
or
think
something.
their biggest challenge with Kennard is he doesn't defend.
Right.
And I think that they already have enough. Their weakness is still the same thing, even though Highland and Gordon are guards and can handle the ball. They need like a real floor general. They need a Chris Paul type, right? Like that kind of player to be able to kind of put them in the right places, to Michael's point earlier.
Yeah, they gave up on both John Wall and Reggie
John
Jackson.
Wall's not that either, though. John Wall is not that. John Wall is a scoring guard who happens to be a really good passer.
What about one Russell Westbrook?
No, he's not that. Come on. Like, we already went through that experience.
Come on. Clippers, do it.
He's going to get bought out. Who's going to bring him back?
I don't know. I think the Bulls could.
The Bulls?
Yeah.
They're a lottery team. He doesn't want to go there.
I know, but I'm saying they have interest in him.
No.
By the way, I just confirmed with the Lakers. I just texted the PR guys. Are any of the 5 new Laker or players playing tonight?
No. They got to get physicals and
No,
stuff.
they're not. And remember, tonight it's an unusual. If you're going to the game, there's a ceremony celebrating LeBron starting at 6:40. And Kareem is going to talk at 6 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Kareem's going to talk to the media at 6 o'clock, and Darvin's going to do his normal thing. So a lot of moving parts tonight. It would have been tough to get any.
Do you think
new guys
Kareem will
in there.
mention how much he missed Michael, having Michael around,
Hey, I got him ready to play every game, Pepe. I got him tough, ready for Bill Lambert.
He whooped your butt every day.
Here's a serious question.
I didn't bring that up.
Here's a serious question. When you had to guard Kareem, when you were playing against him,
okay,
how do you defend the skyhook?
You got to get on his left shoulder, this shoulder right here, and make him turn to his right.
Yeah.
But if he ever gets you sort of like in the middle of his
wait
back,
a minute,
and he starts
didn't he want to turn to his right to shoot the skyhook?
No, he turned to his left, Ireland.
He turns to left shoulder.
You want to get on his left shoulder,
right hook,
and make him go the other way.
Yeah, okay.
But if he starts, if you get there too late. Well, sometimes, but if you got there too late and he started coming across the lane, it's over.
Work is a relative term, like whether or not it works.
It'd be like Pepe and Gold trying to stop Messi on a free kick.
I would imagine similar. Well, Olajuwon even had a little more shake to him, obviously.
Ooh,
so
man.
that was even probably as difficult, if
he
not
was
more.
tougher. He was tougher. Olajuwon was a monster.
So Michael, how come they don't do it anymore?
The skyhook?
Yeah.
Kareem, because it doesn't look sexy.
Yeah.
Those guys think it looks
I've
kind of
asked Kareem that, and he says they don't think it looks cool.
Yeah.
But Olajuwon did have the dream shake is a version of it. Like there's and it was after Kareem. I think people forget that.
He had a jump hook. Nobody had the sky hook. Kareem was the last one.
Right. But it was
guys
close.
just don't think it's a cool shot. That's why they want to shoot it.
And I have another question. How come they forget about defense, most of the players? Because you're talking about this player is not a good in defense. This is not good.
So it's funny. I had this conversation when the Heat played the Lakers. We do the coaches meetings, and Eric Spoelstra, who's a good defensive coach, told me, like me and Jeff and Mike and Mark that day, he's like, it is impossible. Not impossible. He said it is way tougher now to defend than ever because the rules have changed. Obviously, number one, so there's less physicality. So you can't really unless you're going to put it on the officials to be liberal in a particular case. There's that. And you have to defend a lot further out more than you've ever had to defend
spread out now.
before. So between the rule changes and the fact that it's more spread out, I mean, you got Dame and Steph and even Clay, right, pulling up from 30-something feet. Like, it's hard to cover all that ground.
Michael, a fan just asked me a question, and I want you to try and help me answer it. More surprising failure, okay? The 2012-2013 Lakers adding Steve Nash and Dwight Howard to Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. So you had all those guys. Metta World Peace was a fifth starter.
You don't have to finish that question.
Or
Brooklyn. Because all these guys were in their prime. When they added Steve Nash and Gary Payton and Carmelo, they were old men. They were washed up. They were basically done. Harden and Kyrie and KD were all in their prime. This is the biggest failure in sports history.
No question about it. Because even people will say, somebody I saw on TV today brought up the Nash, Dwight, Kobe, but Nash was old already.
Yeah, right.
Like that, even though that was a disappointment, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Like, obviously, that was certainly up there in Laker lore. But the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, come on.
See, I'm the opposite.
Huh?
I thought that thing was going to fail from the beginning because I'm like, the personalities together, there's no leader.
Yeah, but you didn't think they would only win one playoff round.
I'm not saying I didn't even think that far in advance. I was just like, this is not going to
Right,
work.
but think about that level of disappointment. One round?
I'm telling you, from the beginning, I said this
I need to
won't-
see the receipts.
You know what? If you want to go through the old late night happy hour.
Which one has AK and which one has BK on those tweets?
Right. I always pay attention to that.
I did not trust anybody in that trio to lead.
All right. Most importantly, Michael.
By the way, the Suns. Team to beat now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we all agree that they're like I've been the one guy who hasn't given up on the Warriors all year. I am now.
Oh no, yeah. Cappy, what do you think? Suns the team to beat?
When is KD supposed to be healthy and back?
After the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he comes back and he's healthy,
Yeah.
I mean, you put him and Booker together, I mean, and just the other pieces that they've got there, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I would think they're the team to be, and that's the worst part of it for the Lakers. Like the Lakers made these moves, got themselves better, at least on paper. But everybody else in the West got much better.
And don't forget, every time a team has a Bahamian connection, they win a championship. DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton is
Klay Thompson.
so disappointing that DeAndre
Hey,
Ayton.
Yeah.
35 and 31 last couple of games. I'd take that disappointment.
Right.
Michael,
but
last
they
last
literally
thing.
have to coax him to play hard.
What happened with Buddy?
Buddy Hield? He's
Yeah.
looking shoot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
why.
did he win-
I
did
can't
he
believe
win
they
a
didn't-
championship?
Well, wait, but
Not
why didn't
yet.
they trade him, man? I mean, that's crazy. Still there. Okay, Michael. Last thing. Do you think you and I can find a way to work Jerkface into the game
Oh,
broadcast
please do that.
Tonight?
That'd be great.
Please do that.
That would be great.
Okay, I mean, how can
In
we
honor
do
of
it?
Sedano and Cap, we
Yeah.
have to try and work Jerkface into
How about when
If you say-
when Giannis goes end to end and he scores on the Lakers, you go, you jerk face! You traveled!
All right, stay tuned,
Wait,
folks.
John, wait a second. Here's
Yes,
an idea.
Cap.
If you don't want to use the phrase jerk face, you could say something
Oh,
like,
I also use Jackface.
right, but you could also use jerk, and as soon as you say, he acted like a jerk, Michael could then, next word could say, face it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
There
so
you
you
go.
put
All
jerk
right.
face together.
We've taken.
How do you say jerk face in Spanish, Pepe?
I cannot
There
say.
is-
I don't
there's
think there's
not
a translation.
straight translation.
Yeah.
All right, that will be. You have to tune in tonight as Michael and I try and solve that riddle. Can we work Jerkface?
Well, listen, tonight may be
into the game.
Tonight's game may end up being you try to solve a lot of riddles up there.
Hey, where's your confidence, Jerkface? All right, Sedano and Cap coming up next. Crosstalk is provided by Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill all season long. Andy, thank you. Sedano and Cap next, ESPN.